Hello, everyone. Okay, let me see if everything is working. Okay. Hmm. Actually, no. Okay. I need to figure out if I have put this correctly. Oh my goodness, May. Hi. Everything is turned off because I still have not put it back on, like stream alerts since the Archon Quest or the last time I streamed. Thank you so much for the resubscriptions, May. It means a lot. My mind's kind of racing a lot right now. So please, please forgive me for a moment as I try to collect myself. I also am trying to be as polite to my roommates as possible because it's very late and I was not expecting Genshin Impact to drop another teaser at like midnight EST while I was minding my business. So for full disclaimer, I watched it with okay, the first time that I was watching in and out of it with my friend Stephanie in her server, and I was like, I can't. I need to watch it myself, and like I need to truly unpack what I just saw. I'm not gonna start um immediately because there is an ad break going on right now, and I don't want that to interrupt the conversation. So there's nothing happening right now. I do have Genshin in the background, but that's why the only audio is me. If I am quiet, please tell me. If the video is also quiet, please tell me. But yeah, I just wanted to say hi to everyone. Um, there's there's like a lot happening right now, and my mind is just kind of all over the place. I'm getting so many notifications from so many people, like, and I just can't like. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, so okay, the ad break will be ending in about like 20 seconds or so. So please, uh, thank you for understanding. I originally was going to make a notification about this on Twitch, on Twitter, but I immediately decided I just need to talk about this and then I'll have it. So, full disclaimer again, I have not even watched version 5.8's special program yet. I am very far behind. The last thing that I saw was the God's Limits character, like teaser, not teaser, but that little snippet of Four Shades lore that we got. I haven't seen anything past that. So to know that they have released a official teaser trailer for this has me losing my mind. Okay. I also think we should be back from the ad break. So I'm going to experiment a bit and see how like the audio is. Please let me know if things are like too loud or too soft. And this will probably be a shorter stream. So I just want to let everyone know ahead of time. Excuse me. Yes, back. Okay. I took a nap and woke up to people free. Okay. I was ending all of my gotcha chores for the day basically and was going to end off on a calm note and fix my schedule, but Hoyoverse said otherwise. So Unfortunately, I cannot. So, okay, let me see how things sound. Please let me know.
You wish to hear a story of the moon? That tale begins long, long ago.
Um,
Mister! Nefa's starting her story already!
Thanks for the heads up.
seeing Durin, I'm literally shaking.
Oh, the moon's a long way off. We might go hungry, but at least we have plenty of time. Huh? Hey kid, that headpiece of yours is pretty unique. Who designed it?
Oh my gosh,
Could you hook me
Durin.
up?
Baby. I love the heart. Oh, and then
In
it
that
fades.
era, there was no boundary between life and death. Willpower flowed freely among countless beings.
The three Moon Sisters.
The primordial being that once ruled this planet made 3 moons rise from the earth.
Putting a pin on that.
It was not until the funerary year
Oh.
that the primordial voice once again cried out in the darkness.
Chat, I'm so cooked. I'm so cooked for not cry.
The Frost Moon Scions again. A laughably futile rebellion.
Oh, pale white frost moon, I, your loyal emissary, and scion of Hyperborea,
Oh, she's so pretty.
beseech you to cast down your gaze from the celestial dome above. May your gentle tears pierce the frigid night, and grant us, the forsaken and forgotten, your guiding light.
She's so pretty.
You didn't come here for the story, did you?
Oh my gosh.
Finished already, huh?
No. It's just a greater storyteller than myself has
Not-
come.
Varka with the wolf's gravestone. You know,
Now, beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claws, taking aim at the stars.
why is every character design so
You're
good?
right. I came here for the moon.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, she's so pretty. And the moon. Guys, she's Dendro. I can't even form words. There's so much that's happening all at once.
I'm afraid you have the wrong person. Now, be gone.
Oh my gosh.
In the water, the future mirrors the past. The veil of lies is slipping. Time is short. The moon's fall is nigh.
I'm literally speechless. Oh,
Here at last. And things look even messier than last time.
Well, Miss Alice, Shall we begin?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We finally see Alex.
There's no rush, and I'd like to catch up with an old friend first. And you, young man?
Let's part ways here. I have an old score of my own to settle.
You guys. Okay. First and foremost, I have only, like, I saw that through once and I have not been able to process, like, any of it. I just want to say that, like, of the character designs that we have, this is kind of ridiculous because I genuinely feel like this is going to be the most disgusting region ever in terms of saving, quote unquote, primo gems or any pulls. Like, I'm not, y'all, I am not a Varka girly, but for those of you guys who have been holding out for him, I I hope you guys have pulls because, like, they definitely gave him, I don't, okay, the way I was going to end that sentence, it was going to sound super shady and I don't mean that. But he looks really good. Also, all of the drip marketing is on their official media, at least all for Japanese and English. Um where okay. Before there I literally feel like I have to break everything down. Okay. Let me start from the beginning. I just want to go over character designs first. Like, I'm going to mute this. Jiren's design. Look at baby. Literally, look at baby. It doesn't help too that in this entire region, there are so many elves, and I love elves. I love my elves so much. I'm in trouble. I know I'm not going to be able to get everything. Like, I have no wallet. There is no wallet I will be spending. Like, I just want to say this is going to be so difficult for me because all of these character designs are bangers. They really are. I adore that Jiren's design. One, he's going like this. I will be shocked if he's not playable. Secondly, his heart being such a core component of his character, his like and his history to be featured on his actual design is so precious. And I love his color palette so much. Like, oh, and can we please talk about this transition here between him looking like like Hoyoverse has such a gorgeous character detail. Like, I should have like I should have like sound or something in the background, but like I just like music, but I just can't because my mind is racing right now. I absolutely adore the draconic features he has. And I really, really like from this transition, you see like him being a dragon. Like, I love that. And then it becomes the three moon sisters that we see. But I do want to take note. Where is it? So we see the three moon sisters here, but to the individual, like reciting everything, the primordial being, the primordial one, Phanes, etc., that once ruled this planet made three moons. So, which is interesting because to my understanding, it was a I constantly go back and forth between the legends of the Moon Sisters just because of how vague all the information about it is. So for me, it's like you have legends state that they have just always existed. Then they were just created. Then we have the dragons moons, and I feel like I need to revisit so much stuff because I'm probably overthinking, but it's so fascinating to me that we're just sorry that we're just in Moon Lord territory now, like directly. So sorry. Also, give me just one moment. Hmm? Getting I'm getting pulled in different directions. Uh, moment? Okay. So I feel like I should honestly, because I was so focused on the character designs first that I haven't really been listening, not necessarily not listening to what was being said, but I'm just, okay, if I may, because I'm just going through the character designs first. Is this a safe space? Is this a safe space? Am I predictable? Please leave me alone. I'm just, the color palette, the color palette, guys, help me. But like, I also suspect, is this individual, like, I feel like he'd be a light keeper. Like, is this a safe space? May I speak honestly and like truthfully to everyone? Like, I I really like his I really like his design, and I feel like this is hmm. I think I briefly saw his name on social media when they just drip marketed all the characters back to back to back. Well, not necessarily drip marketed them, excuse me, but like stated their CVs and a little bit about them. I will like I have always been a fan of characters who have gradient hair, two-tone, three-tone hair. Why my avatar has like three-tone hair and stuff like that cuz it's just so fun. But like he's in a graveyard, blue with gold eyes, chat. Guys, this has to be a safe space. Ugh, okay, hold on. Let me fix something real quick. Just a moment. Because I think my window capture is being like a bit. I think I have, but like, okay. Listen, his name is Flynn's, or either Flynn's or Flynn. Purple's my favorite color. Julio, you can't do this to me. His design reminds me of Diluc's skin. It does. It's giving like it, let me not just sit on his design forever because I think that's not going to be fair. But like, look at this. I love the blue gradient. Like he's dead. Um, and it's giving. I can't remember his name from like Twisted Wonderland. The character with the bright blue hair is supposed to be Hades or Hades. So I'm just looking at character designs that really are standing out to me. Again, I haven't seen version 5.8. I haven't watched the program actually. I was going to use a day that week to like stream it and watch it, but I've been debating whether or not I do that on my own or, you know, like breaking it down bit by bit. But at the moment, I'm just going to look at character designs and I'm going to rewatch it again so I can truly like attempt to dissect what is being said, because I do think like she has a really pretty design. I really, really like the colors that we've been seeing in Not Cry, but I've also been very, very like, hmm, is this a safe space poll? I didn't realize there was a poll. Also, I want to welcome everyone who's here, who's either lurking or freaking out themselves. Like this is a lot. Um, okay, so I did see that his first name, like Kirill, like Flynn, and then his middle name is like a really long name, and I just couldn't remember it myself. Like her design is really pretty. And then hold on. I think her name was Nefer. This one here. Well, that's Varka, but her here. Very green. Like I feel like they were trying to have like I don't even know what to like really make of her. So I mean this in a like how do I want to word this? Her energy is giving me Cypher from Star Rail and not saying they're a one-to-one. I'm just really curious if she's going to be like the maybe not necessarily like undercover, but like stealthy one. Like, yeah, I was thinking kind of Naga related, but I don't know what they're trying to do. Cause like here it looks like they're trying to give her like the Eye of Ra tattoo thing going on. So I don't know if they're trying to go for like a stereotypical Cleopatra kind of design with her, or if she's supposed to be a snake, or like, but she has like futuristic kind of like adornments. Like she looks like some of her outfit looks like it's from like Sumeru, specifically like the like Deshret's kingdoms and stuff. So I don't know. Um, so so we'll see. I kind of hope she's a bit devious or nefarious, if I'm being completely honest. And I know that there's like more there, but like she's very green. I do like the shades of green they've chosen with her though. Also, I do want to point out, Leah invited Stephanie and I to a Star Rail discussion this past weekend, and I do apologize for derailing that, talking about how most Hoyoverse characters have thigh straps of some kind, especially for the men. I think there are only currently three male characters in Star Rail that don't have a thigh strap, but like you're never safe. And I just see that she has one here. And Varka has two. So I just think that's really funny. But like I really do like the shades of green they use with her because it looks like futuristic and like really bright. Like I really like the colors here. I kind of wish there was a bit more here with like all of that, but that's just me. I still think her design is fine. Wait, she's a Dendro unit. So I don't, let me double check. I have so many tabs open. This is not good. I didn't actually see her vision yet. I'll probably need to watch more and see. Hold on. Oh, but diabolical spot for me to actually land on. Okay, I will get back to her since I mean the universe has spoken. So like, okay. This is a safe space and I want everyone to feel comfortable and accepted. Varka girlies, I don't know if you were expecting, and by girlies, parentheses, gender neutral. I don't know if you were expecting him to be like broader or taller or what, but I will say this is a safe space for you. This is a safe space for Varka stance. It always will be. I will say I love the thicker eyebrows. I also was not expecting him. Like, I knew he was blonde, but I wasn't expecting his face to look like this. I don't know why. And not in like I'm a disappointed way. Maybe like a few more scars here and there. Oh, wait, hold on. Does he have scars on his neck? Okay, never mind. But like, I was I was not expecting the man to look like this in this way. So I personally say it's a win. I think this is as buff-ish as Varka will get. Um it'd be cool if he was a unit who'd convert attack into crit. I mean, they're showing him with Wolf's Gravestone, which makes sense, like canonically, but we also know this man's going to have a signature greatsword. Like, I don't know why they're playing in our face like this. Who in their right mind thinks that this man is just going to have Wolf's Gravestone as his best in slot unless they completely like unless they do something specific with his kit, which I don't know. I can't speak into the future and I don't know. But I want to say his design isn't, I need to see if any angles show his vision. So I feel like okay, I need to actually not be on this. No, he's anima. Yeah, he's anima. I didn't think like anything else about him. It will say I do like his coat though. But like I always envisioned in my mind that he just was an anima user. that he wasn't going to be any other element. Oh, Anima, of course he is. Yeah, I like for me, I just quietly headcanon like, oh yeah, he's Mondstadt silly guy. Dude, oh my gosh. I know the hopium of like Il Capitano coming back and all of that. Perhaps with New Conria, who knows? But like the way that Varka was like, yeah, I met Capitano. I just I would have loved to see them fight. I'm still in character design. I haven't actually analyzed this right now. I'm having fun time for me thinking about these characters and seeing how much delusion I can be in. He was going to be either Animo or Cryo. Yeah, I agree. I just personally lean towards Animo. The bromance we never had. Listen, I wanted Varka and Il Capitano to interact so badly for me personally, because I know that Mika had mentioned that Il Capitano had like bright blue eyes, but listen, Varka saying like, yeah, like a fight between those two would be so fun. Anyway, yeah, Varka has Animo Vision, thigh straps. He has like the Risley thigh high boots, which I can respect. Also, in this line, I'm pretty sure he's talking about how he wants to take the moon, quote unquote, whatever that means. Um, Mind you, I originally came here to look at her and not be distracted by Varka, so he needs to like move. Also, her eyes. Love how sharp her eyes are. Absolutely gorgeous. And to those who may like come in or lurking, I do have the volume just currently muted while I go through the character designs first. I really like how striking she is. So Vega, I was waiting for someone in chat to say it because, you know, I knew it was coming. You're accepted here. We love that. Also, there is an ad break. So I won't go too deep into like um further design ramblings. But so okay. For those who have seen the trailer and or have seen the characters previewed on social media, will you be pulling for every character, most characters, or specific characters thus far? Mind you, we're not even like halfway through all the character designs in this teaser. She can do loud bus noises passing by interrupted by unhinged. Will you be pulling for Miss Ma'am Smay? Knowing my luck, I'll get them all, but specifically Alice and Llama will be my go-to. Yeah, I can see it. I feel like not having Alice will be such a huge miss. So like, and then like the fact that they showed Columbina makes this all the more like, my gosh. But yes, I feel bad, but I think the ad break should be over. So with that being said, I do think her design is beautiful. I like it. We'll see. She gives me a bit of Cypher energy, so we'll just see from there. Um, I came for the moon, parentheses, Mondstadt. Okay. Also, okay. So first and foremost, I don't even know this character's name because I haven't even watched the version 5.8 trailer. I'm that far behind. But I love how in this cutscene, as she does this ritual and she cuts her palm with like the blade, and we see her horns extend. Like that's so gorgeous, and I love it's under the moon. I feel like I really like her. I feel like I'll probably have to pass on her just because of anticipation of other characters. So Llama is 10 out of 10 because of centaur form. Oh, interesting. Okay, so her name is Llama. Okay. Also, I'm sorry if I am mispronouncing that. But I really love the colors. I love flower or any type of like floral incorporation into a design. And guys, I love characters, forehead tattoos, symbols, insignias, etc. And this, like, that's so, I love that. I love that so much. Sorry, I just have to gush about the character design. Okay, and she's Dendro. And hers is on her thigh too. Interesting. I'm trying to see if they have like more, like, I don't want to say unique places for a vision because you only place them in so many areas, like of a person's like body. So, but I do always want to commend Hoyoverse has gorgeous transition. And for her blood, which is like light blue, by the way. So I'm going to assume she's like maybe divinity or like of some kind, or like perhaps those like of the Frost Moon Scions. Just, I mean, from their history, I wouldn't be surprised, but like that's just so fascinating to me. Um, and then also I can imagine they may want to like censor stuff sometimes, but okay. What I'm going to assume is this supposed to be like an allegory of like the abyss, considering the light keepers are against the abyss. They've really been struggling against them. Cold-blooded may chance? Possibly. Wait, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm so okay, William, I'm so happy you mentioned that because I'm like the demigods have golden blood and Genshin has silver blood. Genshin characters. Um, so the transition from the Frost Moon Scions into this encroaching threat, the abyss reaching into where like the light keepers are. I'm going to assume it's light keepers because this makes the most sense to me because they are a considerably um like they are a significant faction here. So like, and then you see all you guys. This is literally, this has to be the safest space. This has to be the safest space. It has to be. If you heard my phone, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you have the wrong person. Like, I need to like zoom in and see if it's like, I'm sure that could be read because, yeah, Lightkeeper's here. Like, I just, if I may, if I may. Also, wait, hold on. I want to make this slower, but like, I know, like, seeing impact frames and transitions like that, when you see the shadows of like all of the graves on the side, it's so beautiful. But like, this is. I just want everyone to know, I really do enjoy this character design. So I have to imagine then that at this point, the Abyss is attempting to find a specific person, if he says this, or he's just being cocky and just, saying that. But like, okay, obviously he's completely different, but his blue flames do, of course, remind me of the beloved himself, Dainsleif, even though Dainsleif has like blue-black flames. His obviously would be unique to like Lightkeeper, um, power source. So I find that beautiful. And I can't not talk about her. I can't. You guys, we won. We won. And I'm so excited they've been giving us more and more and more about Columbia. Like, look at her. She is gorgeous. And I will say here, a part of me was worried they were going to open her eyes. So I'm really happy they didn't. I'm very happy that her eyes remain closed. But I love how angelic and ethereal she looks. She's so, so beautiful. I love her character. And again, I want to emphasize how much I love white on character designs. She's white and purple, but we see. Ugh. Also, I don't believe we see a vision on her, which I mean, that would probably make the most sense. Like, we see all of this. Oh my God. I'm going to analyze this trailer after I look at all of the character designs, but please allow me to just gush about this for a second. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited for Nod Cry. I know there's a summer event happening and I need to catch up with the version 5.8, but like when you give me Columbina, when you give me Varka and Columbina and Frostmoon Scion and Lightkeeper and just not like Nod Cry stuff, I can't focus. So, and can we talk? Can we talk about how Columbina is the Moon Maiden? Like Moon Maiden. No quotate. Well, I mean, like how they describe her, but actual Moon Maiden. I can't explain why, but Columbine is giving me reverse Kokomi vibes. Do you mean like just long, flowy hair and like similar, not similar design in the sense of they're a one-to-one, but like how they have very long sleeves and the flowy aspect of their design? Okay. And then, okay. It in 2025, we finally have Alice. We have an actual for Mother herself, and I'm going to lose it because she has a little Dodoko on the end of her hair, and seeing Albedo and Wanderer in this exact same cutscene too is so lovely. Let me be down bad for 1 minute. I mean, look at her. Her design is so nice, and it's very cute how Klee was an obvious homage to like, say homage, how she looks like her mother in the sense that, you know, hair color, design color. I like short circuited for a second there. Sorry, because she's pretty. I also, you can read this. This is legible. So you could probably like what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like zoom in. I can't even talk. Zoom in and decode that. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if someone else has already done that just because of like who sent this to her. But she is gorgeous, and I'm obsessed with her hat. I love her hat's design. Like, oh my, I'm so excited for Alice because you don't understand. I know I just skipped forward, but like her eyes are so striking, and she has like I love the flower pupil she has, and I love that Wanderer. It's like implied. Okay, let me actually just rewatch this again because now I'm gonna go into like. Well, hold on. I don't want to skip over Nicole. I would be incorrect to do so. Where is Nicole? Forgive me for just a moment. She was right here, I believe. That is so loud in my ear. But this is Nicole. We have only heard her voice, and now to actually see her design, I'm so excited. And she's an elf. And she has wings like guys. Also, can we take note of her pupils? Can we as a community take note of her pupils? Am I insinuating something? Not necessarily, but I do think her design is one that should not be ignored. I also love the colors of it because it really reminds me of Colette from Tales of Symphonia. I digress though. Because now I'm going to rewatch it so I can actually go into speculation now that I'm done gushing about the character designs a bit. So give me just a moment.
You wish to hear a story of the moon?
Yeah, Colette.
That tale begins long, long ago.
Mister! Nefa's starting her story already.
Thanks for the heads up.
Oh, the moon's a long way off. We might go hungry, but at least we have plenty of time. Huh? Hey, kid. That headpiece of yours is pretty unique. Who designed it? Could you hook?
I do love how she asks, "Oh, your headpiece." You know, his headpiece, not his horns.
Me up?
In that era, there was no boundary between life and death. Willpower flowed freely among countless beings. The primordial being that once ruled this planet made 3 moons rise from the earth.
Also, I do appreciate how in the telling of the story, it's clearly a legend that has presumably thousands of years old. And during a time where life and death were, sorry, I think I'm like, my brain is like short circuit. I can't even speak. Goodness.
Countless beings. The primordial being that once ruled this planet made 3 moons rise from the earth.
And what happened to those moons? I just, how do I want to phrase this? Like, because this is still being told in the form of a legend. But admittedly, from learning about Genshin Impact's lore, I was always under the assumption that the 3 moons have always simply existed. However, it clearly is much more obvious that, oh, the primordial one created these moons. So now I'm in the I need to pick apart my own brain in the sense of there were dragons moons that they created, the actual 3 moon sisters that were created by the heavenly principles, primordial one, Phanes, etc. During a time where willpower flowed freely between gods, life and death didn't matter, and just ancient times. I feel for and like so here's where I'm interested in where Columbina lies into this, because we're under our knowledge currently, the 3 moon sisters all met a catastrophic or tragic end of some kind because 2 of the moon sisters fought against one another. One of them remains as the corpse in the sky that you see in the quote unquote sky, and one remains, we don't know. We don't know what happened to the final one. And then there's reportedly a new moon that's set to arise. Whether that's Paimon, whether that's Columbina, whether that's another individual we just are not privy to yet, I'm still I'm curious as to who is going to emerge then. Because because of the 3 moon sisters, we have the ones like, ugh, sorry, I'm just like, My mind is all over the I don't know how to translate it, but that's where I got my info from. Okay, I'll definitely check it out. Oh, and speaking of, let me actually go to Genshin Impact's like Twitter because I just know like there's just gonna be like a lot here, but I want to like wait until I can get things out of my brain first. So with Arya, Sana, and Canon, tragic end. I want to know who the new moon is, but I also want to know the process of that happening. Because if the three moons were originally created by the primordial one, I would assume that if there were to be new moons, like not the new moon, but multiple moons being created, it would be through them. Even like as we know that any form of new life and et cetera, is within the heavenly principles, edicts, and go against that, bad things happen. But Columbina is regarded as the moon maiden. So if she is one of them, if she's one of the fallen moon sisters, or perhaps the one that didn't actually um get destroyed or succumb to anything, I'm curious to know because in my mind, I've headcanon that Columbina has been an angel or descendant thereof for quite some time. I have like the idea she could be some form of like a moon fragment, perhaps in a way that maybe Paimon's like a fragment of one of the four shades Asmodee, or if she's a fragment of another divinity or something higher. But like for the moon sisters specifically, I feel like it's not as clear cut because as much as I love Columbina, and this could also heavily be influenced due to my own headcanons of her, she's always given me like very ethereal, very graceful, very beautiful, but in a very twisted and warped way. And now I have to wonder if like she is the she is an incarnation of a fallen moon, or if she is maybe a reincarnation of a past sister. Maybe was she created to be the vessel of a moon or something like that? Because if we remember in the Four Shades trailer, The God's Limits, we like hear how it's integral that like through the pale moon edict or the pale star edict that they retrieve Columbina in Nodcry at whatever the cost. I personally hope she's not actually an experiment. I just hope that she's like some form of divinity or something that and she just exists as is. But I do feel like there is something there that connects her to older divinity in some way because I refuse to believe that she is anything short of like just some person. You know what I mean? So I definitely think she's some form of higher power and I especially lean into either angel or moon. But now I'm not sure what to believe. And I think that's fun. I love entertaining multiple theories when it comes to characters in Genshin. So I truly hope she's not a Dottore science experiment or something. I also hope so too. That'd be very boring. But I also firmly believe she absolutely she's from some ancient time. And I will probably be wrong for that, but I just maybe it's because I expect too much. But
It was not until the funerary year that the primordial voice once again cried out in the darkness.
okay. I also feel I could just go to Genshin Wiki because oh well I say actually it should be. Yes, you see me with like Genshin like Dainsliff always. This is so. I think it's the Byakuya Koku because we learned about the funerary year. See if I can. Yeah, like right here. In the funerary year. Okay, I guess it wants me to do that. The second throne of the heavens came, and war was rekindled, as it was the world's creation. That day, the heavens collapsed, and the earth was rent asunder. Our ancestors and their ancestral land fell into this place during the conflict. The era of darkness had begun. And this, I'm really curious if we're, because like in Kanomia, we had so much stuff here. So, like, for us to actually revisit that again is like, sorry, like my mind's just like all over the place now. Oh. The primordial voice once again cried out in darkness. Are they referring to like is the speaker referring to to Phanes or the primordial one here? Is the question. It was not until the funerary year that the primordial voice was once again cried out into the darkness. I don't know if that would be the primordial one though. I feel like see, like my mind is in different places now. I'm not sure what to think here. Because obviously we have different cultures, different legends can regard their own primordial one or like the first deity, etc. But oftentimes with Genshin Impact, the primordial one or primordial refers to heavenly principles or like the primordial one or like ancient dragon kind of some in some cases. So
Darkness.
My lady.
The Frostmoon Scions again. A laughably futile rebellion.
the way that Sandrona does not care at all. I feel like Sandrone is so comfortable that she doesn't like again, I don't know that much about Sandrone. I admittedly have not delved deep into her lore specifically of the little things we know. Speculating her to, may have created Catherine and related automatons and machinery. But I really have to wonder if like does she truly feel like the Fatui are so powerful that the Frostmoon Scions just can't do anything at all to stop them? Also, there is currently an ad break that will end in about a minute and 20 seconds. So I'm not going to go too deep. But I am very curious because Sandrone really feels like, hmm, it's hard. I don't remember a time when Genshin ever called any dragon primordial, but primordial isn't capitalized here, so not sure if it's Phanes or not. See, and that's the thing. When I think of primordial, obviously there's a primordial one. Dragons are usually referred to as sovereigns, like in terms of like how well these seven sovereigns being like the oldest, strongest guys, and then you have the uh sovereign dragon lords, of which How is a part of. So I think unfortunately I may be like misremembering certain detail, and it may necessarily not be what I am misremembering. But I do know when it comes to very specific deities, they usually have a certain way that they phrase them. And like you mentioned, primordial isn't capitalized here, which it absolutely would be if it was referring to the heavenly principle. So perhaps it's about like another separate deity. I'm also curious because I might be overthinking it, but I am so curious who that is. But I truly do feel like Sandroni, she strongly believes that the Frost Moon Scions have no chance against them because their forces are just far too strong, and what they know and can relate to, um, relate to what they can do, what they have done, and the power to continue to enforce and show. Perhaps they truly mean nothing to her.
O pale white frost moon, I, your loyal emissary, and scion of Hyperborea, beseech you to cast down your gaze.
I did not know that she was an emissary in that regard. And obviously, emissary means messenger, and it can mean different things. But like Scion of Hyperborea, quite the title. So I'm more and more interested in her the more that I think about this. Sorry.
Beseech you to cast down your gaze from the celestial dome above. May your gentle tears pierce the frigid night and grant us, the forsaken and forgotten, your guiding light.
I still think it's so beautiful that regardless of where like the Frostmoon Scions are so deeply devoted. Like that's just so beautiful. And I love, sorry, I'm so excited, guys. I'm so sorry. And then Hyperborea itself. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, guys. They've been leading up to this for so long. And they really kind of gave like little inklings of it during the excuse me, Nartitten Questline series from like on, and then well, shout out Caterpillar helping us with not necessarily about like Hyperborea, but like just the tower. I think it is the tower. I can't remember its exact name. I can't wait to learn more about them. I think Frostmoon Scions is my most anticipated faction, followed by Lightkeepers. So exclusive to Nodcry, it absolutely is the Frostmoon Scions and then Lightkeepers. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Jam. 100%. The Hexen Circle, I'm always the most excited about, but they're not like exclusive to Nodcry. So like, I'm not gonna count them there, even though they are there. That makes sense. Yeah, it is information overload, Smay. I'm happy you said that. It really is. So I'm really sorry about if I, spreading misinformation. I never intentionally mean to do that. But I do think, I think I'm going to have the time of my life learning about the Frostmoon Scions. Like, I think I'm going to be really annoying about their world quest. I'm really going to be annoying about that region. Like, I genuinely don't, no, I genuinely don't mean for like if my speculation is incorrect, that's one thing. Like, I always want to talk different theories, and if I'm right, cool, and if I'm wrong, cool. I just want to be able to have a discussion where everyone can voice their own opinions and stuff. But if I just say something incorrect, I would like for someone to correct me because I feel bad. I don't want to be that person by accident. So I do think, I do feel like the Frostmoon Scions are probably going to make me emotional just because of how deeply connected they are to still worshiping one of the moons, like the Frost Moon. Like, oh my gosh. And like, this is so gorgeous. Like, this is so beautiful.
I, your loyal emissary, and scion of Hyperborea, beseech you to cast down your gaze from the celestial dome above. May your gentle tears pierce the frigid night and grant us, the forsaken and forgotten.
And then like the web event music, like the song of the Welkin moon. Oh gosh, it's so gorgeous. I absolutely feel like, well, first and foremost, Llama, she gives me like she's centuries years old and she has like deep lore for us. Like, girl, you have to hook me up. I'm so excited for the Nodcry OST. No joke. I know I'm super hopium and I'm like really on hype, but like I think Nodcry is probably going to be one of my absolute favorite OST. Because if there's an OST immediately I can think of off the top of my head that I always go to, it's Enkanomiya's. Enkanomiya, its music will all it just it I don't even know how to describe it. It just is so important to me, and it's just so chef's kiss. I love Mondstadt's, I love Lewis, I love Inazuma's, Atlan's, Sumeru's, like they're all so good. But like Nodcry's OST, I feel is gonna knock me out of the park. I think I'm gonna cry listening to that OST. Sorry. But like listening to the theme of the event again. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Pierce the frigid night and grant us, the forsaken and forgotten, your guiding light.
You didn't come here for the story, did you?
Huh. Finished already, huh?
No. It's just a greater storyteller than myself has come.
Also, this, I haven't really picked apart this, but this was featured, I believe, in the web event. Like if you had zoomed in and like brightened up, you saw this. Not like the rings around, because I've been quietly curious as to where, if any, more celestial nails are, and if any would be in Nodcry, if any would be in Shneznaya, etc. So, which it comes to my very bland information of the lore, but is there any lore of the Welkin Moon Priest Lady? No. If there is, it's been in our faces all along and we haven't been able to connect it. We've had like, did we see any Snowland Fae here? That's a good question, Jam. I was looking to see, and I don't know if we saw any or if I missed certain characters that are actually Snowland Fae who worship the original Cryo Archon. Um unless it's like maybe it was an earlier character we saw possibly, or if the Snowland Fae are in a similar fashion to like the Aranara or the Pari, you know, um like individuals that are clearly important to the narrative, but we can't actually play them. They may just be in. We'll see, because I don't know. Maybe we'll actually be able to have a playable NPC, a playable character that is a Snowland Fae. Why did I just accidentally? My brain is going so fast. I accidentally minimized that. I am so sorry. But I do appreciate how Nefer is like, I'm a storyteller, but Nicole, she tells stories way better than I do. And I know that Isteroth, okay, in the context of this, I mean like my friend Isteroth, like who goes by Isteroth, not like actual Isteroth in the lore. Ista is probably really excited because she's obsessed with Nicole. So shout out her. But also, I am so happy we actually finally have an idea of what Nicole looks like. I admittedly did not know that she was going to look like this at all, but I know she's an elf, and that's already a +1 for me. Like, where in Nodcry is this? I don't know why I asked that, because this is a World Quest area. Is this not the most World Quest area ever? Look at this. Like, we literally look like we're going to get here, and there's going to be, like, character ascension materials somewhere over here, and we're gonna have to, like, go through the World Quest to get all of them. Like, it gives me that. Did you read Skirk's voice line about Nicole? So, fun fact, I still have not done Skirk's story quest yet. I also just today got Skirk's friendship to level 6. So it won't be tonight because I need to calm down from this and go to bed afterwards. But tomorrow I'm probably going to do Skirk's quest. No promises it'll be on stream. But I do want to like analyze everything that happens in that quest. And then I also want to read her voice lines. I've just been, oh my gosh. Because what we know, like, I'll say from what I know, because I assume everyone here is like up, up to date, or mostly up to date. So for Nicole, first introduced during the Sumeru Archon quest, and Alice informs us that Nicole speaks to those who are closer to the when she speaks to those when she wishes to give certain directions to guide them to the truth. And it's fitting that she speaks to the traveler. And she also speaks to people of significance, to, again, to my understanding, when there is a significant change in the world, aka when Scaramouche erased himself from Irminsul and is now Wander. So I'm very curious what Nicole's role is going to be here. Yes, we can gauge that she's a storyteller, but we have Alice and Nicole in Not Cry. Like, they're here. And mind you, and um Wander and Albedo are just in Not Cry. They're just here. So I really, oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Hi Ista. Oh my gosh, hello Nicole. Yes, I literally was just like, yep, this is Ista's wife. So so for me, I really want to know Nicole's history. I really, really do. Like I love Barbeloth because like obviously I love any connection to Mona because she's literally I love Mona wife. But like I need Nicole lore. She's so mysterious and she just knows so much, so I need that.
Now, beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claws.
Like she had wings. So I have to question what is Nicole? Like beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claws. When I hear beyond the moonlight, I just think of beyond the firmament, beyond the false, beyond the barrier that has been um that surrounds Tavat, if that makes sense. Mind you, the scion of well, Hyperborea, Llama, has a moon symbol on her forehead, and Nicole has a curious star-shaped tattoo with star-shaped pupils, which is very interesting to me as well. Call me crazy, but I'm also giving like it like I don't know, her presence just reminds me so much of like the information we get about the Voyager, and I can't explain why. I'm not saying Nicole is the Voyager, but like the way that we've received information about her and like how mysterious she is just really, I don't know. I can't explain why, but I feel like Nicole knows in one way or another up with the Voyager. Skirk made me build my Mona. She's so fun with her. Oh my god, Jam, I'm so happy. I actually run Mona on my Skirk team sometimes. Granted, I do have Skirk's like one of her best teams, which is her Escoffier, Shenhe, and Furina. But sometimes I'll swap out either Shenhe or either Shenhe or Furina, I can't remember, for her. And she's really, 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 really fun. So like I am really fascinated with Nicole. One, I believe she's an ancient being and not in the sense, God, she's so old, lol. Like in this, I feel like she really has a story to tell. So I want to know about that. Also, her design. I'm always a fan of, again, like Colette tells us, like it's hair, blue eyes, white, mostly white, like design, um, very divinity-esque ish. So I love this. And I'm so curious because they're not Conrian people, but they're very interesting. They are star-shaped pupils. So like what is Nicole? sorry.
Now, beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claws, taking aim at the stars.
You're right. I came here for the moon.
Why? Why is Varka here for the moon parentheses Mondstadt? Why is Varka here for the moon parentheses Mondstadt? Do we know, can Varka stands let me know? Because I have missed the memo.
You're right. I came here for the moon.
What does this mean? Hello? Like, if I want to be very dramatic, I would assume, oh, he's here to like defend Mondstadt, but that doesn't make any sense because why would he be also? What is his deal? I don't get it. Like, admittedly and proudly, I don't get it, and I need for them to explain. Sorry, I like cut off because I moved. So we all know that most of the I don't say we all know, but like I feel the only explanation would be we know that, Mondstadt means Moon City. Maybe did Venti instruct Varka to come to Nod Cry to protect the moon? I'm not sure. I wouldn't even go like I don't want to assume. But like Varka's clearly here to protect, I think. Like maybe he came on behalf of Mondstadt. That's a possibility. I mean, Varka gives me like big protector energy, so like yeah. But like I have this is how I speculate. I start sentences and I don't end them. But yeah, so I'm going to have to think. So let's see. Texans are well actually I won't go there. Mondstadt, Schnezhnaya, and so I suppose he is here, and I'll even include the Hexen Circle. I would assume the two of them have reached an agreement or will do in some manner or fashion, like intercept whatever the Vatui are trying to do with the moon. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Maza, I feel like that's probably where that's going. Um, Otherwise, I'm just kind of like standing emoji, trying to think of how I would want to like from from this. Okay, also I'm going to continue playing the video because I don't think it's appropriate for him to be looking at me like this for some Varka like stand probably, but also there will be another ad break in about 5 minutes. I'm going to stop speculating during that time so it won't like I won't interrupt the discussion, but I also need to know. I can understand why Mondstadt is here, or at least like Varka and whomever else is like in relation that like that way to perhaps stop the Tui. Hexen Circle, they're a very secret society, but I feel they also are the type where if something is really going to be a missile come in, especially considering we know that Alice is like a guardian of the border, like Tevat's borders, but also, well, I'll put an asterisk next to that because like, from what I remember from one of Skirk's trailer videos, when Skirk came through Tevat's barrier, Alice was just like, "Hey, girl, what are you doing?" So, like, I don't know what plans Alice may or may not have. But regardless, the Hexen Circle and Mondstadt are both here because some like things are going down in Not Cry. So I think Jurin is here for. Where is baby? Here he be, here be baby. So if we remember back in Simulanka, we learned of how in Jiren's tale, how Jiren, well, original Jiren, unfortunately could not live the life that he initially wanted to, dreamt to, due to being quite literally incompatible with the world. And so now that he has been reborn in the way that mini Jiren, or now this Jiren is, I think this is a story that, like Alice, um, and sorry, shout out Simulanka, fantastic. But it once again is just, I think Jiren's story is because Wanderer was also featured here, and Wanderer is going to be the quote unquote Jiren, and that's why it also makes sense that Beto is here. I think Jiren is going to play a pivotal role in the. I don't want to get too ahead of. So what I will say is that I think that Jiren's role is going to be something similar to like foiling the Fatui's plans, but not as like a and black and white about it, if that makes sense. Like I can't properly I can't verbalize what I'm trying to say correctly. But I don't think Jiren's here just to be here. Jiren is here alongside Albedo and Wander. Mind you, Alice is also here because Wander was with both Albedo and Alice at the end. So that implies that he's been here for some time. Well, I won't say here for some time, but they've been in contact for some time. Which makes sense because Wander, regardless of how soon he wants to be, does care about Jiren. Um, I think I really just need to think about this more because I feel like I'm going to keep starting and then stopping and then starting and then stopping how I feel things will go. I'm wondering if he needs moon power or something, or since he's a dragon, he can tune into those powers, so it will help with that. That could very well be a possibility. Dragons are ever powerful, and I think for someone like Jiren, who not only is a newborn, but we all know the relation to, actually, I'm just going to say that I agree with that because he doesn't even speak here. He doesn't even speak. So I do think that his role is something that really weighs on his mind. And I can't imagine the role that, or I can't imagine how he feels essentially, like more or less after just being born, quote unquote, and already having that expectation placed on you, which again would lead me into an albedo discussion, which I can't have right now. But like, and I won't even necessarily say expectation or pressure, but like you mentioned, he's very contemplative here. And so much so that it's muted right now, but when you see him like really thinking about himself, he clutches his heart, and then the coffee or tea that he is drinking, it transforms into who he formerly was or what is deep within him. Like this here. So perhaps he'll be a protective dragon of some sort because he clearly will not have the same end that Jiren did. So I definitely think that Jiren's role is going to be very, very, very important. Also, here is, well, you know, the ad break is in 1 minute. I'm really happy I put those timers on because I was worried I spoke over that during the ad. Yeah, I definitely think Jiren's role here is very, very, very important. In fact, I think in some cases, he needs to be here and he has to think about what he wants to do and how he's going to do it. Oh my God, there's so much here.
afraid you have the wrong person.
So for like ignoring my like gushing about him and his design before. Oh my goodness. Sorry, thank you. I also hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Um, is it Mazari or Mazari? I just like really sorry if I mispronounce your name. Thank you so much for the tier one, and I'm so sorry about ads. But here, ignoring my gushing about his design, I do appreciate how, to me, again, this is strictly headcanon in like alongside speculation. We know that not the Frostman Scions, the Light Keepers have battled against the Abyss for a long time, and their numbers are dwindling and their power is also dwindling. Yet they continue to, like, okay, it's this right here. Like, I love Frank. Yet we still see how powerful they are and they continue to fight against the Abyss. I think clearly, um, Flynn, I think it's either Flynn or Flynn's is probably a more powerful light keeper. I will just say more powerful just because of Caesar and how he's repelling the Abyss from attacking Nodcry. So for me, like I think there isn't too much for me to speculate here just because like obviously I don't know about his person like that. He's clearly a grave keeper, but there's more to him in the sense that he's like I would really be going into headcanon territory. Him obviously as a gravekeeper, protecting those who have fallen of light keepers, but also like I really can't go too deep because I think it'd just be very surface level. So I still just need to really think more about him. Also, he's got a tragic backstory. I'm cooked. Oh my god. I really hope Smay didn't hear that because I was already like, man, I like this character. And Smay has like this compendium of characters I like who all have tragic backstories and have like a cool color palette, like dark blues, blacks, purples, etc. Like here, this flame too, I love the color of blue flame. Like it's so pretty. So I have to wonder. I'm so excited about the Lightkeeper. It's not even because of him. Their lore just goes hard. That's why I'm like, okay. Oh, he's Electro. He's Electro chat. He's Electro confirmed. He's already Kiryu Core. Oh gosh, no. So is he being added or is he a potential for one? I don't know anything about this character yet. From his design, I mean, I like his design. I love gradient hair. That. I don't know if he's like doomed gravekeeper who will forever protect his fallen light keepers or something like that. I have no idea. But like to me, I can't really make any like speculation beyond just surface level gravekeeper stuff, which is so I guess it's supposed to be ironic that someone who has light- like a light keeper is a gravekeeper. So, but I mean the light within like I don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. Um Also, this tower. Speaking of towers, at some point we'll be able to return to Decarabian's tower. At some point, eventually, we'll be able to go through there. Um, yeah, he is Electro. So I also can't. I don't think he has pupil. I think he just has. Um, just has whatchamacallit, like the Tartaglia. Like I have no eye. Like no, I have no eyes. I have no light in my eyes. I suppose that would make sense for him. He looks very tired and like he hasn't slept. So I think he's good, just tired. Oh yeah, I mean, that's completely fine. Like Ororon looks incredibly tired all the time. He's a good boy. like, yeah, he dispels the abyss. So I have to wonder if his role similar to other, like if he's a very powerful notable light keeper, or we'll just see. See. I do appreciate the. Wait, did he like blow on the fire? Okay, well, oh my god, I didn't realize how violent this was actually. I didn't actually realize how explosive that was. Wait a minute. Wait, his fire is like, so he has electric fire. Am I reading this correctly? Because there are like sparks after he uses his flame here. Oh my gosh. Chat, I have to look away. I don't have any Prima gems. So like I can't do anything.
I'm afraid you have the wrong person. Now, be gone.
In the water, the future mirrors the past.
Okay, I just want to bring up Mona here because I will always bring up Mona whenever I am able to. Since 1.0, like Mona has taught us and the Traveler specifically how water reflects the truth in the starry sky. And I love how here Columbina mentions that she's like, yeah, what's happening in the future? It's happened in the past before. Please bring up Mona. Well, okay, so for me, I'm Copium, and I always think that Mona's connected in every single way, and they need to use her more. Like, why is she not cry? A moment. So, I have my game on in the background, but Mona had like specifically talked about how the the method of her controlling water, not that well, she became more advanced with Barbeloth, is hydromancy. Like I'm going. Give me 1 second, chat. So I am very ill, and I wrote many of Mona's voice lines in my notebook. Okay. I think it'd be. I think her more about Mona best. So I'm just going to read this excerpt really quickly because it's immediately what I thought of when Columbina mentioned this. So, what if Mona's from Not Cry Copium? Mona is from. Now, if she had like ancestors or something from Not Cry, that'd be interesting. But she herself is just from. Um, sorry, I just zoned out. So, in Mona's About 3, or more about Mona 3, she states, "You want me to explain how astrology works? Well, I'm not sure you'd understand it even if I told you, but since you asked, the method I use is called hydromancy, the art of inferring fate from the illusory reflection of the stars on the water's surface. The inverted reflection in the water is an image of the heavens from within which the truth of our world can be observed. It's the one and only success story of that old lady's research endeavors." She also has a in her more about two, she like briefly mentions it, but it's more about her morality about astrology, where she states, income from astrology, you can't use things like Mora to determine the value of astrology. You need to understand hydromancy is the one and only means of discerning people's true destiny in the whole of Tavat. No matter how much Mora or gems you might have, the value of fate is quite simply incalculable. Perhaps not the smartest question you may have had for me. So, me, I feel like to say in the water the future mirrors the past just goes into Genshin Impact's like, and again, this could just be strong speculation from me, but water has always been such a significant element story wise. And I don't mean it in the sense that other elements aren't as involved, but water specifically often involves or divinity in some way. And the truth, which I think is so fascinating. Like, we have a character named Mona Magistus who is able to not only read she can read the constellations of archons and discern the fate of a divinity through water. Water. And Columbina, once again, here states about the future mirroring the past and seeing the truth through the water. And only highly skilled individuals can do that. Mind you, obviously, not everyone's just the Hydro Sovereign out here being the heart of the primordial sea and able to life, but like life healing, exactly. Life healing, the stars, astrology, all of it is deeply connected to water. And dare I even say, the moon. It would make sense. The moon has and will always have a deep connection with water in general because of, well, it being the moon.
The veil of lies is slipping. Time is short. The moon's fall is nigh.
Let's unpack what she said. In the water, the future mirrors the past. The veil of lies is slipping. Time is short. The moon's fall is nigh. So, God, will we be ready for naughty? If Columbina was Hydro, I would not be upset. I wouldn't. Hydro has such a deep significance in the narrative when it comes to astrology, fate, and the truth. I personally wouldn't be upset. But yes, the crescent moon is in these flowers. When I had a discussion with a friend, like a few weeks ago, we were talking, like speculating on what these flowers could be, because from a glance, like from the God's Limits trailer, they speculated that it could have been like the Sea of Flowers. And while I disagree with it being the Sea of Flowers, it is a Sea of Flowers. But these are specific, like moon shaped, like these types of flowers are really pretty, but I also feel like they have a deeper meaning. They're not like, clearly they're not in Tavats, but I wonder if they also have a very specific name. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Like, they're not in Tavats, but they're special. Exactly. They are special. I'm going to mute this for a second because we've seen her in 2 trailers now where she's just sitting, like, she's walking on water and she is in this beautiful meadow of flowers right underneath the moon. Which again leads me to question what, like, because she's a moon maiden, the moon maiden. So now, like, I have more brain rot about Columbina now. But I really want to know her relation as well. Like, I'm just looking at this shot because it's just genuinely so beautiful. Sorry, baby Furina. Furina about to be power crept. I mean, at this point, like, we had, like, Okumi was a cute start. Furina was walking on water. Skirt can travel over water. Columbina can probably just do it all. She can just do everything. Um, but for someone like Columbina, like walking on water, it just seems like, yeah, it would just fit. Of course she can. Why wouldn't she? She's Jesus. I can't believe Columbina is just in Genshin. And I just can't get over how ethereal she is. I also do hope that we never see her eyes. I do. But she is regarded as the Moon Maiden, and we can see moon energy on her character. Like we see the crescent moon here. And she's also, again, mentioning how this moon is going to fall. So is she here to. Is she planning to become the next new moon? Is she. I don't want to say she defected from the Fatui, but why do they. Because if she's left alone, silly things will happen? Also, I do want to remind everyone that in that teaser trailer, whoever was recording her, like in Kieru Arts, like gorgeous Hoyo Fair animation, like paranormal individuals, all of the footage was being very glitchy and staticky and blurred, and they had that exact same effect with her, which I think that's phenomenal. But like, so I have to wonder what she really is then. Because if that kind of effect happens with her, like, is that just in something innate? Like, it happens around her? Like, is she true? Like, how dangerous? Well, I'm not even, we already have that answer. I was going to say, how dangerous is she? And I suppose it could be implied from the Fatui that, hey, we need her back and we need to do whatever it takes to get her back, or something bad will happen, possibly. I don't know if they plan on making her the new Moon. They want her to fulfill another role. But it's interesting here how she says the veil of lies is slipping. Because again, this is speculation. This is all headcanon ish territory. Like Dottore, restraining order by the way. Dottore knows the truth of the false sky. Presumably Columbina, obviously Piero, the highest of high in the Harbin, are familiar with the falsity that exists within Devat's firmament. So I wonder if her saying this is specifically about how this illusion of the moon is like also slipping, and she can truly like catch that. Mind you, also, all of these flowers are becoming red, like a blood moon, like kind of energy. Like I'm deeply in Bloodborne mine right now. I'm half expecting the moon presence to just descend on top of Columbina. Or who knows? Maybe this will be the boss arena. We fight her. All of that teasing aside, I really, really feel like Columbina and the Lightkeepers are going to be the highlight of Not a Cry for me. I really do. But it, like I'm watching it again, and you see how beautiful and ethereal she is. Delicately lands on the water, talks about how the veil of lies is slipping, and then the moment that it ripple, like the petal ripples in the water, the entire flower field just becomes this deep red. Does that signify anger? Does that signify this is the veil she's talking about, not just for the flowers, but a greater conspiracy kind of thing? Like, so I have to know if when she says the moons fall, if this is something that is she's the moon maiden. So I don't know if it's like, yeah, Jam. Yeah, they have moon crescents, the buds of the flowers. I don't know if it's a we want Columbina is anticipating the moonfall so she on the next moon, or perhaps she has all known that this was false and she's separating herself because of her duty as the Moon Maiden, um, like that kind of conflict. I really want to know what Columbina's plan is, assuming she has one, in regards to the moon. So again, I just my mind is just kind of all over the place at the moment, thinking about the significance of this here. Because do we think, um, well, that's a sentence or question, but do we think that when Columbina says this, like, is she going to use the moon falling as like, is this a source of her power or something, maybe? This is so eerie. It's so eerie and it's so beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm just, uh, like, yeah, like maybe Columbina will be the cat, like the moon itself will be a catalyst for her powers, or maybe Columbina wants to be the catalyst herself. Like, I really, really want to know. So I'm sorry, I keep replaying this, but this is just fascinating to me.
In the water, the future mirrors the past. The veil of lies is slipping. Time is short. The moon's fall is nigh.
Ah, here at last. And things look even messier than last time.
Messier than last time is such a statement. Alice is so, I love her. But I love seeing Dodoko here. This is so, so cute. Also, I know this is the Primogem kind of like, I mean, honestly, I thought it was a Stellar Jade when I first saw it. I'm so Honkai brain right now. Honkai Sariel, excuse me. And I also thought this was Cryo. I saw it. So she's so chaotic. She literally is.
Well, Miss Alice, shall we begin?
Albedo saying, shall we? The fact he looks so pretty. The fact that Albedo was already like here in Nordcry. What plan? Like he did the biggest like not transmute, well, yeah, transmutation alchemical circle throughout Mondstadt to uh revive his brother, and now he has concocted another plan alongside his aunt quotations. um and also, I haven't even begun to talk about or even mention the Bakunawa because I'm so far behind. Like there's literally so I need to piece together while I try to dissect this more and more. But Albedo being in Nodcry in this trailer was not what I expected. But yeah, Albedo's hair, like, man, where is this in game? Where is this in game? I would love to see this. But he's so pretty.
Shall we begin?
There's no rush, and I'd like to catch up with an old friend first. And you, young man?
Let's part ways here. I have an old score of my own to settle.
Can we also talk about she just looks so she is so huge compared to him. He is so baby. He's so small. You have bam, look at her, and then here's baby. So cute. I feel like it's so crazy that we're getting all of these highly anticipated old character reveals and character interactions and then all these incredible new ones. I'm overwhelmed. Yeah. Like we have finally reached this culmination where they have everyone or most characters all coming together and appearing in such a way that I think will end very beautifully, but it's just taken us quite some time. Like we have like Wanderer is deeply interconnected with Jiren, so they're going to have their say here. And then Albedo, obviously, due to his connection with Alice and Jiren, what exactly he will be doing, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like he may a backseat role, but not in like he's not going to do anything kind of thing. Um, I also did like I feel like Wander and Jiren's story is going to take place here in a significant fashion, but I'm super hopium, and this is just me being speculative. I really feel like Raiden A is going to be relevant in Not Cry somehow. It's probably just due to the Eternal Moon, but listen, Wander even says he has a score to settle, or, you know, he has something of his own he needs to do. And I feel like that's just okay, that A, but I also think it has to do with Dottore, since Dottore is here as well. But like, okay, but A had that scene at the end of that event. Yeah, she did. Which is why I think Wander's story here is going to be told in two parts in the sense that he will be like, I speculate that A will have relevance here. Whether she's directly here is a different story, but I refuse to ignore the connections that she has with the Eternal Moon at all. Wander about to whoop Dottore? We'll see. We'll see. I want to be hopeful, but I also know Il Dottore is a yeah, he's Dottore. um, because I think back to when he had his conversation with Naya, and again, he knew something about the false sky that she didn't, and he divulged information that made her trade her gnosis to him. Again, I have to wonder. So, and we're again assuming that again he did in fact uphold his word and removed all of his iterations and segments of himself throughout time, all of them. God, whenever I hear like iterations of oneself, I'm literally just flashbacking to Amphoria. Gosh, like I like that Alice calls him young man. Yeah, it's really cute. I also, oh, she has so many nicknames, and like she has really sweet phrases, like terms that she calls different different characters. I really don't want to hear them call him Hat Guy in serious cutscenes, though. I really hope they don't. I think at the bare minimum, they should just call him Wanderer. She's so warm and crazy. She, she, I love her. I love her.
Shall we begin?
Also, Crows just made me think of A2 because of her trailer demo with Yai sending one to her.
There's no rush, and I'd like to catch up with an old friend first. And you, young man?
Let's part ways here. I have an old score of my own to settle.
They literally just can't do that and then be like, all right, good night. But they've been doing it for a while now, so why would they stop here? Like, yeah, oh God. Her design is going to be the end of everything. Like, now I'm scared who they're going to drip market, if I'm being completely honest. Like, they already drip market in Effa, but like, I'm really afraid of the order in which we're going to get the strip marketing. There's just so much. Oh my God. There's literally just so much to unpack here. I hope they don't drip market anyone I want for 6.0. I just hope they don't drip market like there's just so much. I don't even know what to even expect anymore. It's more of a crown than a hat. This is true. But that makes sense because she is a queen. As a hat, it's an objective failure. It doesn't keep the sun or rain off. But I feel like a character like Alice, she would in like the rain just wouldn't touch her because she's flawless. It would just it would just not do that. Like it would be raining and she'd be like, "Oh, it's raining," and then it just stop and say like, "Sorry, queen, ignore me. Forgive me for ever wanting to ruin you." But like her design, I like it. I really, really do. So like, look at her. Also, this. Also, can we talk about how she has her pyrovision here, and it also reminds me of like Istaroth's um the many like time and clock related designs she has on her like multiple halos. I love headpieces like that. Very pretty. Also, I want to know who sent her this. Who sent her this paper crane? I think my brain worms are mainly about Columbina at this moment. Because sure the Hoyoverse can be like, ah, this guy, surely you'll be distracted. And I am. But I'm also I will not fall for the propaganda. I say definitely not going to look up fan art of Was it A? Just kidding. Okay, so you joke, but like I feel like a lot of like we clearly know that many powerful characters are deeply like they're interconnected in some way. Like obviously they may not like Yai Miko wouldn't be like related, like not related, but like wish to speak to like someone like this, obviously, in that sense. But like Alice seems to know quite literally everyone. Like Alice to me, she feels like she is always in the know at all times, which makes me also wonder what Nicole knows. Yeah, like Alice's network is oof. If Alice isn't a Catalyst user, I'd be surprised. I honestly would be too. I expect her to be a Catalyst user. This sounds like literally what you said. Okay, we don't talk about that character here. This is my safe space. That character is stinky, and that character does not exist. But in all seriousness, I think I'm going to be excited for the summer event because once again, like all summer events, it will give a teaser as to very like overarching themes that we will see in Nodcry's narrative, and then like the our conquest that will happen there. But like, I I really feel like this is going to be lore overload. He's a potential for the Notebook. Who are we referring to? Flynn or Redacted? Because again, am I going to take off work when Nodcry comes out? Yes. Oh, I probably will. I absolutely will. Um, so once again, I think we have a lot to look forward to. Um, things have been a bit rocky here on my end, so I haven't been nearly as consistent as like to be in regards to like making videos and things like that, but like I'm deeply trying to um be more consistent, and I really want to do more like lore discussions, like just casual lore discussions because they were so fun. Like Leah's Star Rail discussion that we had the other day. Uh myself, Stephanie, and them, of course. So also, I feel really bad. Character, I literally just I I have no actual thoughts about them. I'm not the biggest fan of their design, but I also we talk about this very, very like the ground, like the floor reminds me of like the Fortress of Mary, you know, how it is. So like, but anyway, um, I really want to just have more casual discussions just because of how much we can like catch up on. And with Not Cry coming, there are so many, yeah, like so many interconnected spots. This looks also like very Sumerian. So again, I'm so excited. I feel like I would not be surprised if, assuming she's a playable character, she's going to be an easy skip for me. I feel so bad for Inefa and her banner. I don't necessarily feel bad because I feel like a lot of people are still going to pull for her. Like, I probably won't be pulling for her, honestly. I'll learn through the grapevine. But when you show me Alice, the Alice, like Mother Alice, Alice Genshin Impact, oh, everyone else is literally second to me, if I'm being completely honest. Um, I would say Nicole, Alice, Flynn is an asterisk, and I don't know about what they're gonna do with Sandrone. Like, do we think Sandrone is gonna be played? God, I wonder when Alice is coming out. These not cry patches are gonna be rough. I'll tell you that. They are going to be rough because again, I look at like for me, there was a time where I wanted to collect characters, but unfortunately, I realized way too late, and maybe not even too late, but it's unsustainable to obtain every single character in any gacha unless you're wealthy and comfortable constantly. And that isn't something I wanted to do. So I personally find it more enjoyable for me to just pull characters that I really, really want. And especially that whether they're like lore significant or I just have more fun that way. So like I would really want Nicole, Alice, and we'll see about Flynn. Like, Nicole. Oh my god. So for me, I don't know. Yeah, I'm literally not okay, first and foremost, I'm not falling for the Varka propaganda here because I know how you guys treat male models in this game. We'll see. You can show me this in the PV, but I'll wait till I see it in. You don't fool me, Hoyoverse. You don't fool me. What if he has physics? Who said that? Nicole's story quest is going to be Skirk levels of peak. Oh, it probably will be. Nicole, like, no, Nicole's is like, I have to do it day one. I don't think any male character in Genshin Impact is going to have physics like that. Like, if we're talking about like Minato physics from ZZZ, no, I highly doubt. Con 4K? No, we're not gonna like if they did Minato physics for Varka, I mean, I'll let you know right now they'll get a lot more money. But I think they will probably keep things relatively safe TM. I do think it's hilarious though that they're like, all right, let's give two men. We have two tall males every. This is our kind of. He looks so eepy. Oh, eepy. Also, I'm just upset because you guys know how I feel about characters with gold eyes. So nice. Okay, jokes aside, I'm not replying. Like I'm not replaying this for him. I want to see the. Where's the? I want to know what this says on the tomb. This here. Okay, this is really. I want to know what this says. I feel like I'm really gonna have to like zoom into this because this in the letter, and we clearly see like Lightkeeper, tomb. Also, can we talk about how this is so Enkanomian like architecture? Hello, reminds me of like unified civilization. Oh, oh, oh my gosh. Oh my god. Hi everyone. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hi everyone. Oh my goodness. Arnold, thank you so much for the raid. I'm literally, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, hello everyone. I just want to say first and foremost, thank you for the raid. Oh my gosh. And thank you everyone for the follows. This really means we are living. Arnold, lore lovers, we won. We won. Literally, it is our time. It is our time. We've waited so long for so much of this to culminate, for all of these things to come to one center point. Like, Arnold, I'm losing my mind. I wasn't expecting us to get Jurin and Moon Sisters, and I'm literally just losing my mind. So I just want to say, yeah. Um, if you're still here, Arnold, is there a specific part in the trailer, like teaser trailer, that is your favorite, or that you really want to like? It's crazy. We just got the Shade trailer. We got it like a week ago, maybe like a week and a half ago. Jurin, chef's kiss. I'm so excited. Like we finally get the baby. Also, can we talk about how like Simulanka, Simulanka giving every single time. I currently have the audio muted just because I've been like speculating and doing all of this, but like it's the number one Jiren Glazer. Yeah, like I'm so happy that we are literally seeing Jiren and he's going to have in such a significant role here in Not Cry. Like there's no shot that we get Shade lore and we get all of like a week after. So um again, before I get lost in the sauce, hello everyone. My name is Kiryu or Kiryuko. I am a Genshin Impact lore creator and I scream about fictional characters and lore especially. I really want to thank Arnold for the raid. Arnold is genuinely one of my favorite content creators and especially lore content creators who gave me a lot of inspiration and confidence to just continue being in the lore space. So I'm really happy to be a part of his community and also to share lore with everyone here too. So thank you everyone for stopping by. But I really have just been like screaming about this for the past like 2 hours. You're welcome. I'm going to be editing, so I'll be lurking, but I'll be watching the VOD later too. Thank you so much. I hope you have a really comfy, fun VOD editing. And yeah, I really hope that we'll be able to talk about um we'll be able to talk about lore stuff soon because we also want to talk about Star Rail with you, Arnold, but you're always so busy. So thank you all again, and thank you everyone for the follows. It really means a lot. So but welcome everyone. Yeah, I my streams tend to be a bit spontaneous because recently I've been much more interested in not interested, but like I've been focused on trying to make more lore videos and cut down on like just posting them more. So yeah, I'm a really deep lore creator and I've been in the lore space for five about 5 years now. It's been a while. 3.4 Amphorius was perfect. Sorry, but I'll be free soon. No, you're fine. You're completely fine, Arnold. I've just been screaming to Leah and Stephanie about Finon. And, you know, I'm like, I can't say everything I would like to say about Finon on stream, but like, you know, I think he's neat. I'm just gonna loop this because I can't. Um, yeah, Amphorius absolutely peak. So yeah, not gonna lie, I'm getting whiplash in contrast in voice types between you and Arnold. Oh my goodness. I've seen a video of yours on YouTube. Really good stuff. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I strive to improve and do better, but yeah. So before, like, again, I the end of God's Limits, when they showed us Columbina, I immediately said, oh, this is really interesting how she quite literally, Fatui, like the Fatui said, no, the Pale Star Edict, we need her back. Whatever we need to do, she needs to come back. But now it, like, I can't wrap my head around whether she's going to become the new moon. She's going to either be a vessel for it, if the falling of it will be a source of her power. Like I'm I'm so, still so curious about it. She has the most brain rot for me right now. And I would also say the same with Durin, Albedo, and Wander, just mainly due to what each of them will do. So, well, I need sleep. Good night. Y'all have fun streaming about the Moon Lord. Thank you so much. Thank you again, everyone, for the follows. Thank you for all the lurks. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Um, yeah, you make such good content. Makes me wish to join the Lore Keepers. Oh, thank you so much. So, the Lore Keepers as a group, we all genuinely just scream about Genshin Impact lore, and not even just Genshin Impact lore, just lore in general for games that we find out about. I personally would just like, for me, what I'll have to do, because our group, Lore Keepers, is actually, I'm pretty sure, created by Minslif, Lore Archon Queen herself. So, um, I I know everyone's doing their own thing at the moment, so it's a really comfy group. Some of us are more active than others, but we all still just scream about lore from time to time. So yeah, like, but while it's just like a Twitch group, I think, like, personally, I don't like, even though in name, like, this is our, like, this is the Twitch group. If you like lore, you're just a part of Lore Keeper. So like, if you enjoy if you enjoy the story, if you really like being, not even you have to be up to date. If you have a passion for lore, you have your own theories, you have speculations, you want to analyze things or share, discuss things with others, by all means, like, we're around. I think out of all of us, I would argue that Arnold and Leah are probably always the most active. I think Rand and a few others are around too. But yeah, we focus, well, I can't speak for like some of them, but like I know I really just focus on like analyses, theories, and stuff like that. So yeah, Genshin lore is really, and I still feel like this is all whiplash. We're like, for me, I am coming from Interlude Archon Quest into the God's Limits teaser trailer we got of the Four Shades. And now and then, no, my timeline is the Interlude Archon Quest in Natlan, then the God's Limits, then I did 3.3 and 3.4 of Amphorius in one sitting, and now I have this. So you can understandably see how my brain is kind of all over the place right now. Yeah. Came here from Arnold's stream. I love your avatar and your voice. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, also there will be an ad in about like 20 seconds, so I just want to like let everyone know ahead of time. But I really want to thank everyone. Uh, add in ZZZ for the experience. No, that's the thing. I literally just caught up with ZZZ too. Like, I just caught up with ZZZ's story, and I feel like I'm losing my mind because I can't focus. Every story is going a different direction. So I have to keep myself contained. But before I get too distracted talking about Finon, because I quite literally can rant for years and just hours about Finon, I'm trying to focus teaser trailer. Uh, I will say I did have a casual lore discussion stream with my team members and friends uh, Stephanie and Leah, which was really fun. We like analyzed Amphorius and things like that. So um, Finon was Finon has been my hyperfixation. I understand. Maza, I literally cannot speak about Finon in a way that does not make me look like I'm insane. I if I talk about Finon, I feel like I am going to be okay. This is a safe space for me. If I start talking about Finon, I just want you all to know that these are my thoughts and my thoughts alone. I'm so Amphorius brained. I was behind and finished 3.0, 3.4 in 3 days. Oh, I absolutely agree. Um, Low key, Varka looks like Finon, Jeopard combined. So I think outside of just the like conventional anime man like face, kind of with the exception of like thick eyebrows, like he has blonde hair, blue eyes, like kind of. I don't see like an exact one to one, but opinions on Nefer. So Nefer, okay, I mean this in like the kindest way possible. She is not an exact one to one. I know nothing about her yet, but she gives me like she's going to be stealthy, kind of behind the shadows in the way that Cypher is in Amphorius, if that makes sense. I know nothing about her. I really can't go further than that because I truly don't know. But I really feel like I feel like, because she calls herself a storyteller, but then she mentions that Nicole's a better storyteller than she is. So, like, to me, I feel this, she has like a darker and like more hidden story from like an observational perspective. But maybe that's just me. This is just speculation by the way, not like I absolutely know. So yeah, in a sense of like perhaps that she's recording history and is possibly inserting herself in a way. I don't exactly know because this is just from me looking like from her into like what we've seen currently, like which isn't like I don't know anything about her, but like she kind of reminds me of the one NPC from the Enkanomiya event. Her words are like riddles. Are you referring to Tsumi from the excuse me, from the Three Realms Gateway event? Oh, sorry. I missed this. So is like lore keepers a private group thing? I feel bad because I thought any Genshin player who's into lore could call themselves a lore keeper. Didn't know that was a personal thing. No. So the Twitch group itself, I believe, is a private group because I believe that Mintzleaf herself or Mintzleaf herself created it. So I'm not completely sure that we're like I would have to just actually ask her about it to be honest. Um so but yeah, it is currently a private group, but for me personally, I I regard regardless if you are a part of a Twitch group or not. I mean, you can call yourself a lord, and by lord keeper, for me, I personally the word to me, we're not actually gatekeeping the lore. We're not hiding it from anyone. We're literally just keeping it in our brains as best we can. Just because, well, in a similar way to how Dainsleif is the bow keeper, lore keepers. So Nefer's eyes made me think Bishop, but on second look, they remind me of Farazan too. No, they really do. They really do. I pray I can get a shot of her and not of Varka because every time I end up pausing on him and I will not fall for the Varka propaganda. I say affectionately, I have nothing against Varka, but like, okay, I think she like, yeah, okay, well, that's her. I'm trying to get like actual her eyes. I don't think I can time it correctly. It's fine. But like her yeah, so her eyes, oh, gorgeous. I want to know her story. Yeah, she has the Eye of Ra. Like she has one of the wings underneath her right eye. Vark. You keep track of the lore like walking encyclopedia. So I don't call myself an encyclopedia personally because I literally feel like I forget things a lot and then I'm just standing emoji half the time. And then it comes to me like 2 days later, like, oh, that's what that is. But I do feel very comfortable and knowledgeable about Genshin Impact lore, just because of deep I've been within the lore space for almost 5 years now. As of September 28th, Genshin Impact will have been out for 5 years. I just personally enjoy having a community of people, whether it's mine, Arnold, Leah's, all of us combined, regardless. I just love having a space where we can talk about lore comfortably with each other because we're all dorks. So I it's just really fun for me. So for her, I probably won't be pulling for her, but I do want to know her story because out of all of the characters that we do know or that we've seen, I'm the most interested in Columbina, Alice, and Nicole. I am very, very curious though about her story. She says she's a storyteller, so I want to know what that means. But I'm personally curious to those who are lurking here. Is there a specific character you're the most interested in? Or is there something in Nodcry you're anticipating or expecting? Because for me, this is like Land of the Moon. And I am so excited to learn about the Frost Moon Scions, the Light Keepers, and more of the Hexen Circle. Alice for sure. Oh, absolutely. Hyperborea is going to go nuts. Oh, I agree. Hyperborea lore, I think, is going to take me, like, it's going to overwhelm me, but in a good way. So I am really, really excited that we'll be able to talk more about that. I think the False Sky will be torn down permanently. So that's actually a really interesting point. Well, as if on cue, as if she knows. I think because Columbina here, she mentions how like the lies, like the illusions, the veil of lies is slipping. So I think that is significant, and something like that could, in fact, happen. We know that Malika quite literally punched a hole through the false sky, and we saw what was beyond there. And it's by no means like they can call it an astronomical anomaly, but we all know what it is. Smay, you're excited about Mother Alice, of course. Dotore, I want to know what he's plotting. See, that's a good question. For me, I feel like maybe Dotore is wondering, like, perhaps his plan in motion is to create a new moon or experiment with like moon powers in a kind of way, but it's obviously not going to be as surface level as that because it's never anything simple with Dotore. Any and every time we see him, something's going down. Also, a restraining order. That man is horrifying. I, my Hexen Circle queens, I love Alice's. Yes, I love Alice's design. At first, I was kind of worried I wouldn't like it, but I do, and I love her hat. So I fear she may be pulling a Princess Yue. So for me, that's one of my speculations I have about Columbina in the sense that, like, is she going to become the new moon, like an actual moon in the sky? Is she a vessel for an already existing moon? She's regarded as the quote unquote moon maiden. So, like, as to my understanding, I was always under the, well, it's a very long standing kind of theory headcanon that she was connected to the Sealies. And once we officially learned about angels, I wondered maybe she's an angel who has her eyes closed because of the legend of the Sealy being doomed should they fall in love with a human, things like that. So I'm like, oh, is she angel instead? But if she's a moon maiden, maybe she could be any one of them, a mix of both. Like, I'm not sure. But either way, she's definitely on the top of that list for me. Kind of, oh, kind of makes me think that the passage that says the path to temptation has already been sealed, so maybe that veil is that seal. Got it from the and that's a good point. I'm personally really curious to see what more we're going to see, but like I truly envision everything at the moment just because of information overload. But I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen. Also, this one, okay, this is a safe space. I want everyone to know that this is a safe space for me and me alone. I mainly joke. I love how in this area with him, Lind, I think his name is, like it's Enkanomiya architecture. Do we know anything about that white fire? Um, I personally am not familiar. If it's a Lightkeeper's kind of exclusive thing, are we talking about this fire here, like the blue white fire here, or in a different scene? This is listen, Jake. Listen, that is complete. You are safe here. You are safe here. Just like people, like all the people here who thirst for Finon, maybe My Day, etc., ID, etc. You all are safe here. Feel free to speak about your truth and your passion. So I personally don't think we have like official information about like maybe this specific fire. I would need to revisit, I think maybe Long Night's Oath, which is the artifact set that goes into detail about the Light Keepers. For me, I imagine that it's like because the Light Keepers have been fighting against the Abyss for so long, I would imagine that at some point they would have multiple kinds of methods of deterring the Abyss or destroying it in general. So, like, for me, I think this might just be unique to, say, him because he's a gravekeeper. And, having like spectral kind of fire makes a bit sense. This could be like a Lightkeeper exclusive thing. But I also think he's a unique character in the sense that, like, he's Electro. He's Electro, but you see later in, like, when he's like fighting against these forces of the Abyss, the fire is like it's like electric fire. Um, because once he uses it and it explodes, you see sparks of electricity as well. So I would imagine, like in some case, like here, like I think it's like a form of maybe he's just like a super powerful gravekeeper and he's had some unique power. So, but yes, the light keepers, they're like it looks like a house. It's giving very Dainichi Mikoshi. When he appeared on screen, I found myself. I just want you to know that was the funniest thing I've read in a little. Wow, you just made him even cooler. Wait, I did? How? I was just like, of course, I don't want to like see, like, I could be completely misreading this, but as I watch him fight, I say fight in quotations. When he uses his abilities here, yeah, you just see like, I can even make it slower, but you see how the sparks of electricity here, it's fire, but it's electric. And then as he dispels all of the shadows there, it's this huge explosion of both fire and electricity. So I'm like, maybe that has to be a unique Lightkeeper thing, or maybe that's just exclusive to him. There is such a thing as a ball lightning. Yeah, yeah, King farmed that aura. I was sold from design. His story is just like cherry on top. Oh, interesting. Oh, Kuroe-san, do we know where the three moons currently are? As per the Welkin, like the Song of the Welkin Moon event, to my knowledge, and I would have to be corrected, we don't know who the three moon sisters or the three moon sisters, like, we don't know who exactly they, outside of their original names, Arya, Sonnet, and Canon. We don't know if they've been, because two of them have perished and one of their corpse remains in the sky. We don't know who they could quote unquote be, but I do think there are strong connections with certain characters. Like for me, I think it's very on the nose if A and Makoto, for instance, have a connection to the eternal moon, right? Like I think that that's completely fair. Columbina, to my, seeing this trailer, she also can have a connection to the moon, or whether she was a fragment or was a new vessel, reincarnation, or something thereof. She could be, but I hesitate to say a direct one to one because sometimes that may not be the case, and or a character may just be like we can see certain parallels despite not having the full picture. So it's just one of the things that I'm really curious about. But at the same time, we have the Fatui here in Nodcroft, the area where the Frost Moon sign, and they worship the Frost Moon. So, like, let me see. Where is it? So this here, I was going to take the time to um like decode it, but I trust the lore community to be much quicker than I as I yap about Genshin lore and speculation. Definitely giving overloaded vibes to me since we got Lunar Electro Charge. She could be Lunar Overloaded. Oh, that's interesting. That piece of paper on Alice has the real names of the Moon Sisters, apparently. Oh my goodness. It's Aralos Solnari canon. Oh my god. Oh, that's so fit. No, sorry, that's fascinating. That's fantastic. Oh, can we talk about who just sent her this though? Who sent her this? We know that Alice has her network of connections, but like me, I sent it. Okay. Thank you for sending us lore. Probably, probably Nicole. Yeah. Also, fictionologist. I love your name. That's so fascinating. Tomorrow, I'm absolutely going to like. This is sorry. This is the stuff that I love. I love making like connections and learning things on stream and talking about it with everyone. So wait, I feel like I'm missing. Like you guys were telling me about that because I was so curious as to what this actually read. I also wonder if people have decoded on the Lightkeeper tomb that I almost called him Chris, and that is not his name, Flynn, because I think his first name was like it's like Kryl, Kryl. It's Ryl, I think. The Gravekeeper. I cannot remember his like actual full name. Actually, I think it might be back here. Wait, no, it is when he destroys them because on the tomb itself, this. I want to know what this says. So I feel like this will probably be decoded by the time that I wake up. And imagine the Lightkeepers are superhumans powered by the moon. I mean, I wouldn't hold it past anyone. Like, I feel like if we think about the Lightkeepers as a faction, they have been fighting the Abyss for so long. It is through, like, they have been fighting such a battle for years. I say years as like, you know, like centuries, et cetera, et cetera. And to have like a blessing to help them, like a blessing of a certain moon, perhaps, that would be fantastic. Like if each faction had their own blessing of a moon, perhaps. I need to know if his name is like Flynn's or just Flynn and the S is silent. They have translated it maybe. It seems to be a family member's grave because it has the same. Oh, Smay, I am never calling him that. I am never calling him that. So that's why whenever I see like whether it's the ancient Tavashan language that's like Latin, or if it's like Sumeru, Deshret script, or uh Liyue script, like I always find that really, really fascinating to learn about. That's so interesting. Oh my god. Guys, sorry, I'm literally geeking out because I'm so excited. Oh, on the topic of Varka, we theorize that he may have some kind of relationship with Krapus, and that may tie into Varka's animavision. Dare I say, doomed Yowie. Listen, if the finale of the Deep Galleries set gave us doomed Yuri, I am absolutely not out of. You could not. I would not be surprised if there was a doomed Yowie at all. So, but I do think it is funny how Varka has an animavision because I don't know why. Like, I can see him with a different vision, but him being animo works. Like, obviously, he's. Oh my goodness, I appreciate the thirst for everyone's like new faves. Chat. And speaking of thirst, Alice. I expected cryo, but definitely I see anima too. I think that's probably a like a good consensus, especially with his connection to Andreas. So, but I I feel like with this teaser, there's going to be so so much we're not going to be ready for. Like I know we're all excited about Not Cry, but we're going to be so overwhelmed with the lore that they get. In sacred tribute to Chidomir, Arnie Volke. I'm not sure if I can't really make much of that. I need to like speculate on that. Also, thoughts on what I said earlier about. Oh, okay. So I feel that is context for like, because if that has to do with like Skirk's story quest, I have not done Skirk's story quest. I was going to do her quest tomorrow, but if it is in relation to the five sinners, yes. Just on a lore hunch, yes. Because if I have to actually like if I were to think about it, the three Moon Sisters were in this, well, as we're on the topic right now, thank you, teaser. The primordial one created the three moons, and they were, through one way or another, they perished. So the idea of people defending them or wishing to avenge them, I could absolutely see that. Are you streaming Skirk's story? So that's something I'm debating. I probably will, just because I always have so much fun when I'm like doing discussion about the Archon quest, or Archon quest, just quests in general. So, but I would like make a post about it on Twitter and like Discord and stuff. A will of the wisp that burns over hidden treasure, like a Genshin Sealy. Maza, if that tomb is the gravestone of an angel who was a light keeper and he like guards it or something, and it's like a doomed love tale, I'm gonna cry. No, but in all seriousness, if it's like a Genshin Sealy angel, like a deceased angel there that was a light keeper, man, man, nothing. Oh my god, nothing could be better. Oh, we love our tragic kings and queens. The question is, are the moons independent entities, or are they also bound by the rules that the shades are bound by? That is a fantastic question because I hate sounding like a fence sitter, but I feel like yes, and no at the same time. Because I personally have the speculation that the moon, so before this trailer, and even now, I was always of the belief that the three moons just have always existed. They were originally here in ancient Tavat, like sovereign, sovereign time. But that appears to not be the case, and I don't want to like spread misinformation. So please correct me on that. So when here in the teaser, while they just directly explain that the primordial one created the three moons, I would then be of the belief that because the primordial one created the moons, they, in a similar way to the shades are in fact, or would be, uh, they would be subservient to the heavenly principles. They would follow whatever mandates that it had. Because if, but again, I again was under the assumption that they've always been here and the primordial one came and colonized everything. So I think it's a really weird kind of lore bubble for me because in my mind I really want to believe that the three moon sisters have always just been here and then the primordial one was like, I like that, so I'm gonna make my own kind of thing. But like, but at the same time, in the God's Limits teaser, we saw that, and I mean, we know whether from the finale of the Deep Gallery set or whether we know, like we learned from the Lord of the Night, the primordial one or the heavenly principle, the four shades do what is within the rules laid out by them. So we see in the God's Limits teaser, at least for me, from rewatching it multiple times, out of the three that were there, technically four, I guess, that Renova was the most nervous between the two of them. Also, I want to thank everyone for the follows. I am so sorry there was an ad break that's ending in like 30 seconds. So I that was a terrible time for me to go into detail about it. But Renova looked the most, I say uncomfortable as like uncomfortable as a shade could be. But like she seemed to me out of all of them the most tense. Probably because maybe she's on thin ice with the heavenly principles. We learn from the Lord of the Night that she assisted with the Night Kingdom, and the heavenly principles did not like that at all. So, mm, I do think that if they are in like direct relation like that, like if we have the moons, say if they became the shades or what have you, then they would have to follow in that way. What did you catch that was her blood on her? Oh, were you referring to Lauma during the ritual she was doing? Oh, sorry, I am behind on messages. Back idea, but would it somehow be possible that the primordial god mentioned here is actually not Phanes but Nibelung? Interesting. See, I've just been thinking about the primordial one. See, that changes things. And in truth, Nibelung was the first TM. He was birthed alongside Tavat. Well, I thought it was referencing that Nibelung created the moons. Okay, I could believe this more. My understanding is that the primordial being that's referenced here is actually Nibelung. We learned at the end of at the end of Natlan that the moons were connected to the dragons. Yes, and in the finale of Deep Galleries, it's implied that the moons existed before the primordial one arrived. Okay, all right. Thank you all for saying that because my brain was working in overtime. Like, oh well, maybe I'm just this isn't right. But no, it makes much more sense and is far more to me like it's easier on my brain because the dragons have always been here first. And we did in fact learn about secret source, like ancient secret source machinery. So yeah, when Lam was in the water, she cut her hand and marked her forehead. Yeah. And her blood was in the shape of a crescent moon. This is also, can we all just talk about how gorgeous Hoyoverse's teaser animations are? Oh my gosh, they do such a phenomenal job. I just had to gush for a second. Characters look fantastic. The music was fantastic. I know it's muted right now, but I love the animation style. I love the transitions, the characters, like the designs. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Yeah, it says the primordial being that once ruled this. Okay, that's completely on my fault then because I taking everything apart piece by piece without remembering. Like I'm just all over the place. I'm sorry. I made myself a bit more scatterbrained than need be. But that once again just makes things all the more heartbreaking because the Moon Sisters perished after man finale of Deep Galleries. I feel like I just need to. I'm going to be more depressed reading that again, but I'm so excited to read it again. That explained why they were destroyed then, because the moons weren't bound by the rules of Tavat because the rules were made by the primordial one. So maybe Celestia destroyed the moons. This is going to be all the more heartbreaking when we see that the heavenly principles ends up, or the primordial one ends up looking like Finon or Kevin Kaslan. I'll be like, ooh, maybe he was right. I kid, I kid. I'll be like, oh man, that's so rough that he did all that. Man, looks kind of good though. Um, this would mean that the Cinerarier, uh, I wonder, is it because I feel like I immediately make everything sound like French, but if evil, why hot? But his love for humanity, I mean, hey, sometimes a villain's like good intentions, if the eyes makes them do not the best of. This would mean that the Cinerarier, Crusher of Solnari, is trying to avenge the moon they might be related to dragons. Hey, I'm all for more dragon lore. I like the dragons and moons are so deeply connected. So I feel like that that just opens up such a wide ooh, so many new theories. That's exciting. You imagine the moon coming back might be a continuation of the old moon spirit, kind of like how the gardener and the priest in the Enkanomia book made the tree spirit before the same one as before. So I'm so happy you mentioned that star because in a recent casual lore discussion, we actually mentioned that, like how so many of the Byakuya Koku collections tales, like all of those legends are becoming more and more not only front center, but how it could easily apply to certain like certain dynamics in characters as well as events in history. You know, I really hope Skara gets an opportunity to save Dotore and he walks away. That would be hilarious. I made a tweet about it. Want me to send it to you? Yes, please. I hope Nightbot doesn't snipe you. I feel like you should just be able to write a link. If not, if Smay is still here, um, you could message it to Smay, or I really hope Nightbot isn't annoying in that way. Because if so, you could also like link your Twitter and like could just read it. Because I'm literally all about. I know Twitter is like a scary place nowadays, but like I really want to be able to support fellow lore heads and like talk about stuff across our whether it's our Discord servers or Twitter or YouTube or wherever we can. Nice way. Okay, here we go. Praying. Praying. Okay, okay. I have the link. Look, I have the link. Let me. I am so sorry. From my experience, Discord is better for lore discussions. For me, I just want to say this here. I can only speak for myself and like people, obviously in my community, where I do talk about it in my Discord. Feel free if you'd like to join. If you don't want to, that's completely fine too. But I just want to say across any of my social media, all of my lore discussions are like that I have with people. I want everyone to feel comfortable and they can just talk about theories. I don't like seeing that people are becoming more aggressive about gotcha game lore, if that makes sense. I want everyone to be able to talk about it and we just all have discussions. And if we need to correct one another, we can do so in, like critical way. I completely agree that Twitter is very scary when it comes to casual discussion, or even if you try to make a theory, because I think people just want to be correct as opposed to just having a discussion. And discussions should be healthy. They should be, you can have a critical discussion without being like, well, no. Like, I could be like, oh, well, she looks like she's from Sumeru. And someone being like, well, no, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to make a cancel thread about you on Twitter. Like, it's never that, that serious. I just want everyone to be able to talk about ancient lore because it's fun. Like, it's fun. Like, I love listening to Arnold, like, react and say his honest, like, theories about what he has to say, or Stephanie, Leah, or Ashikai, or, like, who. It's fun to have a discussion about lore. So, if you ever see me stream or any videos and stuff like that, feel free to jump in. I like talking to everyone about lore. And I also want to thank you guys for letting me be here and stuff like that. Because I think when it comes to Genshin Impact lore, I started first it was me screaming on Twitter into the void, when it was like actually Twitter and whatever it is now. And then I found the Conria Lore Project. I've been inactive in there for like a while, but that's only because I just was doing my own thing at the time. But like, I remember having so much fun in there. And I'm not saying that it's not fun there now. Like, it's still a great place. Please go if you feel comfortable joining a lore space, like a community. I know different creators, like lore creators, have their own spaces. I have my own space and stuff like that. And I know joining a bunch of Discord servers can be really, really um exhausting and trying to keep up with everyone. But I also just want everyone to feel safe because no one should feel like they're going to get harassed over a theory. These are all a bunch of fictional characters and we're just acting and have fun. And that's what I always want for everyone. And I love being excited just like everyone here. Just for funsies. That's why I love video game lore so much. I also just want to say with my little self, Barca, blonde hair, blue eyes, Lynn, blue hair, yellow eyes. Okay. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, if there's a character who has white hair and blue and or gold eyes, I am going to explode. It has happened every time, and try as I might. Try as I might. I am never strong enough. Like every time. I especially just knew going into Amphorius. When I saw Phinon, I was just like, man. I was literally the man meme, like the horse on the beach. Are you talking about a certain someone? Perhaps. Perhaps. So there are just certain character designs. You just described Asmodee. Listen, I have not been vocal about my appreciation of Asmodee. But when there are 6 characters in the notebook that fall under that description, the only characters that have the gold eyes, white hair is like Shisho. And mind you, gold eyes, white hair. We don't talk about blue hair and gold eyes. But yes, Smay has been keeping track of the husbandos and waifus that I'm like, oh yay, this character is neat. Would you all be surprised if I got deep into the lore of Three Houses? Was obsessed with Dimitri Alexander Blythe. And once I finished Three Houses, I stumbled upon a game called Genshin Impact. And they're also Just so happened to be a character in Genshin who has blonde hair, blue eyes, and a blue and black color palette. But I said, okay, I'm cool. It's fine. It just so happened that these characters are very similar. Oh, what's this? This game is cute. It's called Honkai Star Rail. Well, I haven't played it in a while. Oh, wait, what's this? Amphorius. Wow, there's a character, white hair and blue. My goodness, Ilo, hello. Welcome, Raiders. Oh my gosh, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Hello. We were talking about Genshin lore, and there's a slight tangent just about character design. Excuse me, character designs. How was your stream? Hello. I hope you had a very comfy stream. Just been screaming about the trailer for a while. Gaming, I hope you enjoy the games. Also, there will be Baldur's Gate 3 this week. I promised. We're gonna have Baldur's Gate 3 in the yeah, so exciting times. Just some normal thoughts about character designs. Oh no, I don't have normal thoughts. I'm mentally ill about characters, but like my friends accept me. I played some Blasphemous 2, actually a very good game. See, you've played Blasphemous and Blasphemous 2, and it actually looks really interesting, so I want to get into. But when it comes to bring this back to Genshin Impact lore, and Hoyoverse specifically, I am not the most knowledgeable when it comes to Honkai, like the Honkai series. I am only familiar with Star Rail really in certain aspects of like familiar things that arise with Honkai that are seen in their other games. So for me, like I can't really go into detail about Honkai Impact Third or their like previous games, but I I really like how in Star Rail they have like its cosmology is massive. And so when I think about Genshin Impact, Impact's or well, I say cosmology when it's really its own. I say it's its own thing in quotations, but it's actually much more involved than that. So I say this all to say I really, really like the series and I want to keep talking about it. And I also want to keep talking about it with everyone here. So can't spell unhinged without curious. I mean, I'm not unhinged. I'm just very normal about fictional, if that makes sense. Did you know Llama's chest has lore? I mean, if it has lore, great. Like it's giving that me like no one will know what I'm looking at through these glasses and they look directly at the character's chest. That's like me and fun. Yo, I mean, I'll read. So true. So true. But like why floor? Why floor? Yeah. Um yeah, but with all of that said, I do think Weaverse is doing an excellent job when it comes to bringing up like they're bringing a lot of the I won't necessarily say hidden, but you did have to kind of go out of your way to get certain aspects of the world building, and they're bringing that front and center in Not Cry. I do think, like, I am a bit worried about how they'll pace it. Not necessarily saying like the like quest pacing, but it's kind of like if we were to get significant quests like back to back to back to back to back with no downtime, I think that that would be very overwhelming. And as exciting as it would be, we in the lore space would probably be on full overtime. So I'm I'm so here for the deep lore is now just normal story content arc. Yeah, so like I think it's like I personally really like it because dare this be a controversial take. I personally strongly dislike when people are I'm not saying this is anyone here. I've just seen it enough times when there are very like ill-intentioned people who have like elitist attitudes about lore when it's never that serious. And I mean this in the sense of like, oh well, this world quest from 4 years ago had this like one sentence of dialogue, and if you didn't know it, then how do you call yourself a lore fan? It's kind of like I'm not gonna remember everything an NPC said 4 years ago, so we're just gonna try and like let's just all work together. So the fact that they're bringing it front and center for everyone, I think is really, really good. If anything, it makes me happy as a lore fan. Be more of the stuff that was kind of hush hush about, and I wouldn't even necessarily say hush hush. It's more so like it's more accessible because not everyone wants to play a world quest, and that's completely fine. And to those who do, like myself, who will go out of their way to find a world quest because I want to take down notes and I want to figure out what more we have to say about things, where we want to connect. Like that's the type of person I am. But not everyone, again, is like that. So I like that now it's like here, it's front and center for you. And if you wish to learn more about it, we're going to talk about it more. And here are more people in the community who can like talk to you more about it too. So I wonder what this trailer actually means to someone who doesn't really do lore past the Archon quest. Personally, I think, like, I can't speak for someone who wouldn't really know. But like if I was a new Genshin player, like let's say I just started playing Genshin yesterday, obviously I wouldn't have all of the information. So I would slowly try to figure out what meant what, but taking it as slowly as necessary, like at my own pace. Because I can't absorb a bunch of information very quickly. After Amphorius, like after 3.4, y'all, I just cried and I needed like 3 days to recover. And then after that, I was fine and I absorbed the information. But like, you can't expect someone to understand the lore of like an entire region spanning over a year in like a day. It's a lot. Just like in real life, when you learn something new, it takes you time to learn. People who are more knowledgeable in it, obviously, who are healthy about it, will direct you proper sources, try to explain things to you, help you understand X, Y, and Z, and things of that nature. So that aspect is really fun. But everyone learns lore at different paces. There is no rush, and you do things what makes you the most comfortable. It'll always be here, and then there will always be communities where people talk about it. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, I'm just very passionate about it, and I'm very defensive of people who are just like, people want to know things, but not everyone has time for World Quest. And that's fine. That's what a bunch of us are here. We're dorks. We'll read all the artifact descriptions and item descriptions. We'll do that. Do our best to piece stuff together. And me with my terminal memory loss can easily keep up. Yeah, like some people don't want to do a role quest, so they'll just watch a video about it, and that's fine. We like that's fine. Like I could do both. you know, I feel like they should release a list of world quests people should do if things in the non-cry teaser confuse or intrigue them. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I do think I know Minslif, Ashikai, and I believe maybe Dawit do as well. Um, at least I can say from watching like videos in the past where like, hey, here are recommended like here's like the world quest order, or here are prerequisites that you can do to help you kind of get a gather of things, or here let me recommend you this lore creator's video if you want to watch it, or if you feel more comfortable reading it, here's like this like document, here's like the wiki that like help you better understand certain things. um I wish I could do world quests, but they take so much time. I just want to watch 10-hour lore streams instead. I'm smart. I mean, hey, yeah, that's completely fine. Not everyone has the time or attention span or the energy to do it. Like I just suddenly got a burst of energy after seeing this teaser trailer, and that's why I've been streaming for 3 hours. So they then proceeded to cry for 3 more days about Finon. Smay, you leave me alone. I love Finon. He's literally my little meow. Um, but yeah, like I genuinely, I'm just so excited. Also, Holyverse genuinely needs to calm down though, because you can't do this and then Like you can't do God's limits and then M4 this and then just be like, all right, see you tomorrow. As someone who knows the bare bones of the lore, this is fascinating because pretty characters. Yeah. Agree, lore is not a race to find the most knowledgeable about it, but a collaboration of knowing more about the world. Exactly. Exactly, Hakuba. Like, we all just want to work together and figure out the world and try to piece things together as well as we can. Do you think the elf race in Genshin is like the primordial human-esque race before humans came to exist? So I've been quietly thinking about that. I do strongly suspect that the elf race is either one of the oldest races or like the race TM that's the oldest. Because we have not learned anything about them at all. Outside of they are a long-lived race, which in the spec and like in the span of Genshin Impact, that doesn't mean anything. And by that doesn't mean anything, we have multiple races that are very long-lived. But with Alice herself telling Klee that, I'm like, oh, okay. They're waiting to tell us about you guys. Because I really, really feel that they're holding out. Like they've been holding out and it's been on the back burner because they've just had to piece more things together. But I do strongly feel like that those kinds of um pieces of lore will be at the forefront and Nodcry will probably be the place where they go into detail about that. At least my speculation. So aside all my yapping, I do strongly feel that the elf race is one of the longest standing or oldest races, or they have been the oldest. So there used to be an audiobook channel that read the Genshin books out loud, but I don't think they upload anymore. I know exactly the channel you're talking about, and I'm blanking on the name. I am blanking on the name. At one point, I did want to read through the archives because I love reading the archives. I genuinely do. Like, no joke. Like me getting into lore, one, it was resinless behavior, but two, because I also wanted to figure out what was going on in Genshin. So yeah. Also, there is a 1 minute and 30-second ad break. So I I am just gonna like pause about going like speculation like seriously. Um, but I'll just be like responding to like a few. Ready to read the tweet. It's got a crazy crack theory, and I look forward to see your opinion and criticism. Most likely will be wrong, but hey, I'm trying. I think the fact that you're willing to even have a theory and put it out there is more than enough. Because I don't think, at least for me, it's like I don't personally mind if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, okay. And then I'll figure out things later. But, you tried and like assuming, but we're just trying to piece stuff together. Yeah, I had to figure out the mystery of Tava, and I'm there with my whiteboard in my head. Like, I was bashing my head against the wall against Vera Melancholy when I first read it, and I was just so like, wait, what is this? And Vera's Melancholy, entire different discussion. Um, but I think I will read your theory, Star, but I will probably do so just after stream only because it is getting rather late where I am. So I want to be able to respond to it when I'm not like high on this teaser. And I have more time to like process them. But I have a link. I have the link you sent and I have it bookmarked. And it's also in a separate tab that's not in this one the teaser. And it's just gonna be up. I'm honestly excited about these characters. They look so different from the others. I agree. They're very like because clearly with past region, we have characters that are clearly based off of like cultural inspiration, with certain uh like traditional clothing, for instance. So things where characters like clearly have this is what this culture will look like. Uh and so with Nodcry, it seems like they're just not necessarily all over the place, but they're just so different because it just seems like here are characters that are just now in this region. I don't know how to properly describe it, but it just seems like they're so stand out. So yeah, like I'm yeah. I love the lore, but I am barely doing Amphorius and taking my time. It's so long, which I love, but I watch more lore videos to help me understand hour-long quests. Oh, I'm really happy that you do, Luca. I mean, that's a fantastic way to do it. If I'm unsure about something, I will also look at Genshin, like lore videos, or I'll go to the wiki, or I'll try to understand. And if I can't get it, then I just end up um asking others around, like regardless of the community, like, what does this mean to you? Or, like, what does this mean? I would like further clarification. And also something to keep in mind too is that many, like much of the lore we get in Genshin Impact is purposefully left vague, and they're also legends or tales told by unreliable narrators. So we have to gauge from that, like, guess information from there. So we can't automatically be, yes, this is 100%. Like, this is what we hold, and then we can go from there. It's like, for instance, I love Dainsliff. He's a very unreliable narrator. Is he like, does he have ill intentions? No, question mark asterisk. But like we learn Conrad like information from him, other sinners, etc. But he's not the only one. Like everyone is biased in this story, and everyone has their own agendas. In addition to when we read legends, there are unknowns. So we just have to do our best to weed out the information. Um, yeah, I have a hard time just reading and not hearing. Like I could read all the books and still only pick up maybe half of what was said. But if I hear someone read it out loud, I take in so much more. No, I agree. Sometimes when I'm reading in the archive, I will read a paragraph over and it will not make sense to me. And then if I hear it from someone else saying, like, oh, that makes sense. I like how Enkanomiya changed how I saw everything in the game. So I think for me, everything when the primordial one attacked, but also when we went to Enkanomiya, and then I think I truly locked in Enkanomiya, and especially during the Three Realms Gateway event. But I think for me was when I have a feel like what was the place? Maybe it was Sumer. I would actually really think about that. Actually, no, I lied. I don't know why I lied like that. No, it was Zhongli. I started playing this game because of Mona Genshin Impact, and then I saw Zhongli, and I was like, oh, I see. Also, Zhongli, there's a dissertation. I will not go into detail about him right now, but I was like, yeah, this man, they can say he's a Geo Archon, but I'm mentally ill. I know you're something. I went down that rabbit hole, and I saw Dainsliff, Venti, Mr. I'm definitely connected to Mother Isteroth herself. Actually, wait, if I really think about what it was for Genshin Impact that got me to stick, it was Dragonspine. It was Dragonspine, and then especially Enkanomiya, and I've been here ever since. Have you had a Zhongli stream? So I had a Zhongli stream that was like 5 hours, and it was just me, like that meme of like connecting everything on like on the board, the whiteboard to Zhongli. I should have a new one, like honestly, because he's so suspicious. I don't if he ends up just being former Geo Archon that's old, okay. I don't believe it. I don't. Imagine if it's like a type of Emperor Scepter, like Irminsul's one of them are. If it was like that, I think I would actually curl up in a ball and just cry. They're doing so much here. But there's also the super convenient feature where you can just delete information from history and people's memories, so that makes it even more fun. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have like a theory sharing space in your server? Yes, I do. So in my server, I have an area called the lore library, and you can just post whatever you want there. I believe all of the if you're in there, the lore, like the role should allow you to like automatic like post there and stuff. Like obviously just follow the rules. But yeah, it's just the lore library. You may have to scroll a little bit. But yeah, you can post stuff there, and then like I am in my server like every day. And there are quite a few people too. And we just mainly meme kind of, but like when it comes to the lore library, like if you have a theory or something there, feel free to post. Don't feel obligated to. I um because for me at least, there was a point in time when I usually did when I had more time was there was like a quest or a certain world quest, I would like outline key points and have things there for people to read, like in the event that they weren't able to do it. But I've just been like busy, so I haven't been able to, unfortunately. But there's always a place to talk about lore, uh, the lore library there, and then there are spoiler channels if there's like brand new content. Like for instance, if there was like an Archon quest that came out like tomorrow or something, you would just post it there, and then we could all. There are quite a few people and quite a few lurkers too who jump on like the theories and stuff. It's a fun time. So yeah, and I promise like no one will hound you there, and if they don't, then and if they do, then they will like not do that anymore because my community is not like that at all. Nor would I encourage any type of behavior. So rest assured you'll be fine. But yeah, the nail in Dragonspine and the lore in Dragonspine was so tragic and sad and so delicious because I wanted to have more lore like that. So it made me happy. I might post some theories too. Yeah, of course. I tried to find a banhammer emoji, but found this. Yeah, the Bang Boo is a global Twitch emote, and it's one of my favorite emotes on the entire site. I am a hater, a gatekeeper, and an all-around menace, and they can't get rid of me. So Isla likes to lie a lot. I'm still coping that Inlandlocker is still a fictionologist. I believe you. He's still alive somewhere. He's alive somewhere, and we're going to out that like this is how. Oh, actually, that upside down statue in the Dance of Quest. That's when the game changed for me. I was like, whoa, yeah, the upside down Barbados. I'm actually so curious though how I can't believe that the Gravekeeper is Electro. That's so funny to me. He says, hello, goodbye, zaps you to death. I now hope you have a peaceful ending. Guys, I'm not gonna fall for the propaganda. I will unlook the Gravekeeper. Do you think tragic love lore will be incorporated in Nodcry? 1000%. Somewhere. We already have the Doomed Yuri Yaoi question mark. Doomed Yuri, really, of Finale of Deep Galleries. And you know whoever's loves their tragic anything. So like, yeah. I actually I'll say it this way. I would be shocked if there wasn't. I would genuinely be shocked if there wasn't tragic like love in some fashion. Because when we learned that the Voyager and the first Angel were in love, also like I was gonna mention Ajax. I don't have the energy discussion and like who that could be and what all that like oh my gosh, all that already. So much. When you're a sad little guy, loves are tragic. Listen, you don't have to say that out loud. Wonder if the moon and Mondstadt bring being Moon City has something to do with the Venti statue there having the writing the gateway of Celestia. I think there could be, considering it's the only statue to my understanding that has that. And Moon City is so just in your face. They don't even. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're trying to hide it, but like the fact that she like puts the crescent moon like of her blood on her forehead, and then her silver blood like transitions into the dark like abyss clawing at the light, and then he says Lamau no is cinema to me. It's so funny. But yeah, I do want to say I am deeply, deeply interested and very excited for the Frost Moon Scions, and I need more lore from Columbina. Like, I honestly think she's going to be center stage here. Kind of reminds me of the Forget Me Not flower story when the knight was picking flowers and falls into the river and yells the princess Forget Me Not while tossing the flower. Yeah. Also, how all of the buds of these flowers have crescent moons. Can we also talk about how, like, not only do all of the flowers, like, they're so, like, crescent moons, but then they become red and the moons become red? Nod, cry, eat your heart out. Saying that because Celestia, like the floating island thing, has to be repurposed dragon tech stuff, right? I think a lot of dragon technology, to my understanding, what I firmly believe has been repurposed and or based from directly from the Fatui or used like the end that we may not be completely privy to. And like who knows how much Celestia, because we already saw, like for instance, like with Conria, Deshret, um like, and even in some cases in Inazuma too, like a lot of the automatons, while they're like very unique in how they look, they all clearly come from like a source. And if I remember correctly, I feel like a lot of that technology is like everything comes from somewhere. Heavenly Principles probably did steal a bunch of tech. I mean, why not? Well, yeah, it's like what are they gonna do? I can't express enough how upset I will be if the Heavenly Principle, if the Primordial one or Fate. If Faney's ends up looking like Fine On, I I literally another one. I cannot. I love Danes of Genshin Impact so much, and I'm such a Conria stan. And I love my silly little sinners, and I love Conria lore. But if they have the Heavenly Principle, anything like Fine On, man, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna say anything. 96% chance you're switching fast. Listen, I wouldn't switch fast. I would just say I would be very interested in learning why they did what they did. And perhaps, maybe, just maybe, be interested in like how things got to that point. No, in all seriousness though, if Heavenly Principles ends up just looking like Finon or Kevin or etc., I'd be pulling regardless, but it's like it would just be tragic. Switching sides being better than Devoured for real, for real. Granddaughter was so messy for that, and I stand her so heavy for it. So funny. Better than being devoured. Look, we just want to hear him out. Yeah, I, I, I will. Is that the white hair, gold eyes? Okay. If the Heavenly Principles has white hair and gold eyes, or white hair and blue eyes, you all will have to ignore me for at least 3 business days because I will be annoying. But in a more serious like conversation. Just like how we're learning about ancient civilizations and how they rose and fell, whether through abyssal influence or not, or they became there was like forbidden knowledge or corruption or of some kind. We learning about humanity's story, and we absolutely at some point will learn more of the divinity and why they do what they do, why the shades like do what they do in their story, as well as the Heavenly Principle. In addition to other, like, like we'll see. And I do think Hoovers will tell us that whether you as an individual, which one you, I won't say prefer, but you like gravitate more. I guess that's the same. Like remains to be seen. But like, you know, it's just one of those things where I absolutely feel like we're going to get the story of why like Celestia does what it does. Will it be tragic? Who knows? It could be, or it may not be. Any primordial one believers here? I just wait. I actually need to know who here has completed up to 3.4 because I want to say something, but I don't know who's currently up to date because I don't want to spoil. At the very least, if you are not caught up, to like mute for 5 minutes. But to those who are not caught up, definitely mute, or if you don't care, it's fine. But for me, it's like learning the truth of Amphoria, learning the truth of the character, especially like I'm just like hearing tangent. Um, like I think back to the God's Limits trailer, and we saw all those cubes, and we discovered that those cubes are presumably all of the shades are into separate spaces to find, like, they're in separate spaces trying to find Asmodee wherever she is, whether she's Paimon, Paimon's a fragment of her, or whatever. So like, oh, that's my fault. Sorry. Um, I leaned away from my microphone, so let me like start over again. Sorry. So, from the God's Limits trailer or the teaser, we saw that there were multiple different cubes, quote unquote cubes, like the dark crimson cubes we saw Asmodee attack the traveler with at the very beginning. Then we later see in this teaser trailer of the shades that they are spaces specifically that have, like, at least we saw with Ryan Dotier, is able to create a space with different people and scenarios and all of that. So I feel like knowing that, and I'm not saying that all of the spaces were created in Dotier, but the fact that we have so many of those cubes that are essentially confirmed spaces, that just makes me wonder, okay, is Tavat just a cube in one of all of the millions of thousands that we saw? And if that is the case, are each of those cubes its own world or space time in Tavat that is just being monitored, shades, wherever they are? And for me, if the way that I almost said Phynon, if Paimon, if Paimon's like a fan of Asmodee or whatever that people are speculating, I have to wonder why did she like, because remember how she separated the sibling? She covered them in those dark cubes, and then they woke up without their memories, went to Conria, and then they didn't come back until later. So like, what kind of a space is Tavat? Like, to me, I'm firmly of the belief that Tavat is just one of those spaces. And then when I think of like how much they've really been leaning into the whole false sky, looks like the data glitchy effect of the false sky, ooh, it's all the more eerie with Amphorius. Now, do I suspect everyone being like AI? Not necessarily. Question mark. But the quest was called A Space and Time for You. Nisteroth directly involved them in such a way. So I just have to wonder what more happens there. Now I'm all the more curious as to how this is going to spell and not cry. Genuinely. Yeah, sorry. I've been yapping for so long. I'm so sorry. Thank you all for like not minding me being silly about this too. Also, outside of Sky Dome looks red. Could the could he? Guys, I am literally so can't talk. I am so fine on pilled right now. I literally just keep thinking. So you good? Just we love hearing your opinions. We love the yeah. I'm just like so all over the place because I'm thinking about Tavat and also thinking about Amphorius in parentheses Phynon, and I'm like, not. But maybe we'll have someone like Anaxagoras who will just rewrite the entire code and it'll be fine, smile. Anyway, I think Tavat was put into a demiplane loop until they could figure out how to save it, but I forgot why I think that, so just take my word for it. I mean, it's so funny you mentioned loops, Silo. It's it keeps getting cut out again. Is your mic glitching? Yes, it's because I have a terrible habit of leaning like from and away my microphone, and that's completely my fault because it's in such a weird position because of how my desk is. So I'm very, very sorry. So that's completely on me. I'm sorry. I always have audio issues because I lean too far away. Loop's so hot in fiction right now. Man, when I tell you, yeah, it's very good. But came here for rate and save for the chat. Oh yeah. Yo, imagine a Discord call about all this. It would be epic, but too many people would join and the call would crash. Oh yeah, it's I've been in quite a few Discord calls where it's just been about Genshin lore and everyone was so excitedly talking at once, it became very overwhelming, even though everyone had very good intentions. So like, you when it comes to lore discussions, obviously everyone would like to speak or have their own like, just the time to discuss things, but it can be a lot. So, oh, and there's also an ad the next like minute or so. So I'll probably just read some things. So, but I really want to thank everyone again for all of the follows and like joining my Discord. It really means a lot. I know I've been yapping for almost 3.5 hours. Oh no, the ads, yeah. Have you heard of Everness to Neverness? I have, but I don't believe I would put it. And not in like a I hate it, but or like it's not interesting to me, but I think I just have so many gotcha already, like story wise, that are in my peripheral or I'm currently in, like drowning in. I would have to wait. I'd be so annoying in call. I think it's just so long as everyone moderates themselves to the best of their ability, it would be fine. Because we're all just a bunch of silly ones. Oop, sorry if you heard that. You can use the stage feature in Discord to have a live audience for it. You could boot people off stage when need be. Oh yeah, I planned on doing that. So before Not Cry, I wanted to have a stream discussion, but I also want to have like a server discussion of lore. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be, you have to have a presentation or you need to have like a college dissertation to talk about all that you know about Genshin Impact lore. Just general speculation and theories that we, want to talk about or stuff on your mind that you want to talk about. Because again, once we get into Nodcry later this year, it's going to be just overwhelming, truly. Your bot says 1 minute 30 seconds for ads, but it definitely starts within 10 seconds. Okay, I'll fix that. I think I'll try to fix it. I think that might just be like a stream elements thing. I generally don't know because like, I don't know. I generally don't know why I would do that. So usually when I see it in chat, if I'm not yapping, I try to let everyone know immediately. I think that honestly is a stream elements thing. So I'm so sad, chat. Gravekeeper may get me, but I have to stay strong. I have to. If you don't have at least 8 years in Genshin lore, you're not allowed to talk about it. Yeah, if you don't have 8 years in Genshin Impact lore and you don't know every single NPC's name and you know exactly when this quest happened in relation to the Traveler, and also didn't take part in this event, you should not speak on Genshin Impact lore. I'm totally joking, by the way. Please don't take anyone seriously if they ever say that. My thesis will be on Kaya. I'm working on my Genshin Impact lore major. I support you and believe in you. I think you could, in fact, write a dissertation on Genshin Impact lore and Kaya specifically, because he has so many connections and different, in so many different ways, and various like culture connections too. Just fake it till you make it. Something might be right. Stay strong. You got this. Don't be tempted by the propaganda. I will not be tempted by the propaganda of person guarding souls of the deceased and look very tired doing so. I've heard the Siribot or Seribot is good for telling when ads appear. Okay, I'll need to look into that then. Also, once again, can I just say, I know I'll be fine. I've mentioned this before. So Varka stands, I need to know how you guys are. Is this what you expected of your mans? I feel like not knowing 100% of the lore can kind of help with theories too, because it gives a new perspective to things we think we figured out, if that makes sense. No, I completely agree, Rav. I completely agree, because I personally wouldn't want to know everything. I don't want to know all the lore. I want to be incorrect about things because I want to be able to find a new perspective and learn through others how they got to their conclusions and how I could see things differently. And even simple stuff. I'm just like, oh, like that's absolutely, I didn't think of it that way. I'll apply that to what I know now. And, or if I had this mistaken, I can now look at this from a fresher perspective and try to figure out where the pieces will fall. So I like it that way. I mean, again, I can only speak for myself, but I agree. And like, I just want to learn more and I don't want to learn everything. I also don't, like, I want to learn everything, but I don't want to know everything. Plus, figuring out things on my own and figuring out with others is what's really, really fun. I know a lot of people expected him to be a giant bearded guy, but I've always said, please be realistic. He's going to look like a Genshin character. Yeah, I think so. One of my friends really wanted him to be very, very large and like Wagner model kind of. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, he's gonna look like a Genshin man. um, I was nervous about Varka and Alice's designs because they have been so built up in my head. So I think that's an inevitability when it comes to a lot of designs, because it's like sometimes you have this expectation or other times you don't. And so when you finally see the final product, you're like, oh, I am now disappointed. Or you may not be necessarily disappointed, but it's kind of like, all right, I'll work with this. But um, my favorite element and Claymore, Big Man, sign me up. I am excited for you. To be fair, personally wouldn't have liked if he was a Wagner type model, but that's just me. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, from what they described about Varka, I honestly assumed he was going to be like a larger kind of guy, just like muscle wise, but like this is nothing not, this isn't far removed from what I would kind of expect. I wanted him to have a beard. Yeah, I also expected him to have a beard, but like he does not. Instead, he is pretty man. He is pretty man who has thick eyebrows, which I really like because chef's kiss. Bro is just Japard, but old. Bold of you to assume that Japard would grow his hair out like this. Aventurine that beat the twink allegations. Oh my goodness. We have to have a community discussion about people using twink carelessly. This man is not a twink because it doesn't fit his personality. He's the fun uncle type who cracks jokes every 5 minutes. Well, that's another thing too. When I think of I almost said Aventurine. When I think of Varka, he gives me like older like uncle who's really silly but serious when it comes down to it. You know what I mean? So like I was not expecting him to look like this, but like, hey, I mean, I'm not necessarily complaining, but I also do think it's going to be hilarious because I will let you know if you guys see me retweet Varka fan art, just mind your business. It's fine. He's got 80s band hair. Oh, he absolutely does. Look, the twink, and it's a grizzled, war-torn man. I mean, he's like, he's. I will reserve judgment. I'm looking forward to the retweets. Most of my retweets recently have been just standard characters like Anaxagoras, Mona, Dainsliff, maybe the Four Shades. It has taken everything in me not to retweet absolutely everything about Finon because I feel like that's not appropriate for me right now. Because people will be like, man, I thought this was a Genshin lore account. I suppose it's not. And it's just me retweeting art of Finon. Bro got the Risley build and looks dope. Yeah, I mean, he has the... Also, I want everyone to keep this in mind. For any Genshin Impact character, but especially the men, they will always have thigh straps. Always. It doesn't matter. They will have a thigh strap. Or multiple. Oh, yes, May. You and your C6R5 Risley. But yeah, he has the Risley build. And I suppose we'll see if he'll be... We'll see. We'll really see. I do like his coat, though. I do like that. So. Thigh straps are low-key a good idea for a boomerang blade weapon to be strapped there. For that backup weapon, right? Right? The design they went with is like 99% of what I had mine, so I'm super happy, minus the scar. I didn't foresee the scar. If I am being honest, I want to see more characters with scars, and not just the men either. Like, they just gave him one scar on his face. You guys are boring. Give me one on his eyes, mouth, like, even like, for instance, Scar from Wuthering Waves. He has like a burn, like he has scars and like an actual burn. Like, give me like that. Like, I really like that. From today onward, my name is Thigh Strap, please. Oh my gosh. You guys are so silly. But I support you. I support you, and I hope you have fun. Please be safe. But for most characters, I don't know. I feel like Hoyoverse, you know when they are a Hoyoverse character TM, but I think that adds to their charm. Geshu from Wuwa has a scar across his mouth. Just a fun fact. He has a scar across his mouth, and he has like his tacit mark. Okay, either his tacit mark is on his neck, or it's like a burn mark on his neck. I think it's his tacit mark. I am not okay. Rob, you're fine. I'm also not okay about fictional characters, but like my friends accept me for who I am. And you're always accepted here. The neck tacit, yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, overall, I think his design is what I pretty much expected from Genshin Impact. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not. This one I am going to be worried about because he just looks so dead inside. And I'm like, aw. Are you dead inside? Like, you look like you're dead inside, but you're silly like Odoron? Or are you dead inside and, like, actually dead inside and serious? Like, I need to know. I need to know for science, actually. Let me actually not look at him, because the more I think about him, the more I will want him. So let me not. I cannot fall for the propaganda. I'm on team. Listen, I genuinely think the more I look at this character, the more I'm going to be like, Blue Man. I like the Blue Man. And then Smay will have to be like, I know, Kiryu. I know you like the Blue Man who's sad and tragic. Watch it be a debate, and Flynn Flynn's is actually a very bubbly character that looks depressed because he hates his job. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Your account is not complete without the Blue Man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate that you said that. Dimitri, Dainsliff, Finon, and now Flynn. I'm cooked. I'm cooked, chat. But you know, Finon isn't completely blue. There's like some gold in there. It doesn't add to my case though. Like, it's not great. You forgot the other blue man playable, Nicolette. Smay, this is supposed to be a safe space. I'm gonna need for you to like not say that. We got Ayato, what do you mean? I don't mean to sound really rude. I forgot Ayato existed, and it's not because he's like a bad character or anything, but because he's so in the shadows, like he likes to be, and has not been in the story for a while, that I'm like, oh yeah. Ayato is wearing white though. Well, that's the thing. Characters for me, regardless of their gender, white hair or light blue hair, or really purple sometimes, but usually white hair, gold eyes, gold accents, blue, black. It's why Layla will always have an S tier design for me. She literally ticks all the boxes. He was overshadowed by his little sister, correct. I have not used Ayato in years. I pulled for him, got his signature, and because I didn't want to level up Tartaglia, and then I used him for like 2 months and then I stopped. Layla's too cute. Layla has an S tier design, and I quite literally, I am so biased. I will not and opinionated on her and her design, but I just refuse to accept that she's anything less. Hoyoverse did an excellent job designing her, and refuse I refuse to accept her design as bad. So yeah. So like for him, as much as I love Novelette, I'm never like a huge fan of like I mean, he's adjudicator, obviously. His design isn't like my absolute favorite, like clothing wise. Like I love the long white hair, blue dragon feelers. I don't know what they are in his hair. Like S tier, like I love that. But like his robes are just eh. Like for him, he kind of has that similar feeling, but like I understand why he would wear. He's obviously not in like judicator robe, but he obviously looks the way that he does because I mean he's a grave keeper. I mean I wouldn't expect him to be in like a bikini, you know. So, but I wouldn't be against it, but like I just wouldn't expect. Yeah, he has. I have to wonder how we meet this man then. Does the traveler just stumble in a graveyard and he's like, "What are you doing?" And then we're like, "Oh, sorry, bye." And he leaves like Dainsliff for the rest of the quest. Like, is that how we're gonna meet this man? I'm already cooked chat because I'm already speculating how we're meeting him. So it's already over. It's already over for me. I'd love a Nicolette skin. I would too. But I will say, I'm now like derailing because it's been so late. Okay, he's going into the notebook. He literally can't go into the notebook yet because I don't know anything about him. You have to at least give me some grace. He's going to save us from something kind of like child. Hmm. He does give me like, hey, I'm a light keeper and I'm gonna give you a bunch of lore. Now leave me alone, kinda. So maybe. We'll see though. I don't know anything about him. So Mr. Light in the Darkness. Oh, okay. Picture scene. Travelers being surrounded by the abyss. He comes in, does a super cool animation because that's how they want to introduce you to the character. Then he's like, lands are not for you, leave, and then he walks away. Boom. Okay, I'll give you a grace period, which will be up the patch after his release. Okay. I'm totally joking, by the way. I have no idea. He could literally just be, you know how Genshin, how Hoyoverse is with characters that are clearly playable. He's going to be in a sea of NPCs and it's going to be like, guess which one is the playable one. Guess which one is the 5-star. So yeah, we'll see. Um, Overall, ignoring my yapping, I think this is really, really cool. I'm absolutely obsessed, but I think I'm actually going to call it here because I've probably been streaming for like 4 hours. I just still want to talk about stuff more because I'm so overwhelmed. Imagine he trains the travelers to use the non-cry version of his elements. I think he would definitely lead them in the right direction. I feel like he would give them like some heads up on stuff and maybe advise them like certain warnings. Like I think Llama would too. Like she'd give you lore about stuff and be like, hey, this is a very dangerous situation for you. Like Llama's over here, and then Nicole would be like, Traveler, oh wait, the Traveler will finally actually meet Nicole here. I didn't really think about that. But yeah. So glad everyone was here to share in the excitement. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oh, so Dainichi Mikoshi Evernight type stuff? Possibly. But I do think this is going to be a good time for me to actually head off for the night because it is late and I really need sleep. But I want to thank everyone for lurking, for everyone who followed, and for you guys all like chatting here with me with Lore. Like this is really fun. It was really nice to meet everyone. Again, my name is Kiryu. I am a lore creator, lore content creator, primarily for Genshin lore, and I may tackle into Star Rail. We'll see. But yeah, I yap about fictional characters, and I really enjoy lore streams and talking with all my friends and all new friends like you guys about the lore. So thank you all so much. I want to thank both Ilo and Arnold both for the raids, massive raids, and I'm so deeply appreciative. But thank you all much. Thank you for talking to me about everything, and I look forward to talking to you guys again in the future. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.